All right, here we go. We're live for Saturday night. What's up, guys? What should tonight's title be? Let's see. What's interesting? We've got our new Jungle Pack Break. We could do a funny title. Let's see. I don't have a good idea for a title tonight. Late night Pokemon card live stream. Let me just plug that in for a minute. We'll think about the title while we set it up, because actually there's a lot of setup these days. Let's go grab the tags. I'm finally home. What? Hey, how's it going, Tammy? Let's see. We should have the tags over here. Here are the tags. Boop, 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 boop. Here we are. We're going to hit save. Okay, and then, okay, so that's saved. Let's open this up. We'll pause this. Why are we so zoomed out? Let's turn off Camera Pro. Oh, there we go. Problem solved. Okay, and let's go grab a link to the website. Boom. Did a 6-hour drive today with no stops. What? You're such a big girl. Yay! You drove so far. We're so proud of you. I'm teasing you. That is a long drive. My butt starts to hurt if I sit that long. Oh, man, I got to delete all these. All right. Just been working all day. I'm not even exaggerating. I worked from the moment I woke up to pretty much now, with just the exception of having a basic dinner in between. That was it. I worked all day. I got a CGC submission done. I think it was like close to 150 cards. I got to post the people that were in it. Not too many people in it, by the way. Guess you guys don't like grading with CGC or something, but man, PSA is not opening up. And CGC is open. That's all I got to say, you know. So you got to take what you got. You can still grade with PSA, I guess, if you want to spend like $1 million. Not me. I'm just going to grade with CGC. All right. We can throw out these. And it says I'm getting a payout from PSA. What is the payout for? Geodude, Mickey Mouse. Oh, speaking of Mickey Mouse. So I was looking into Mickey Mouse cards, and man, they're gone. Mickey Mouse bubblegum, it's gone. Go look. There's like none left. Mickey Mouse bubblegum is gone. It's sold out. Like, you can't find that many of them. So I don't know if that's because of me talking about it all the time or what, but somebody with money clearly came in and just wiped out the market, or maybe the sellers stepped away, you know, like maybe the sellers who had them for sale. But there were some Mickey Mouse cards for sale, and they're all gone now. There's a couple left. It's not that much. It's not a very good variety. Yeah, it's gone. Your chance to buy a Mickey Mouse bubblegum card is pretty much over unless they just suddenly pop back up. That's good if you got a Mickey Mouse card. For me, not many people did. You guys just didn't like them. I thought they were good the whole time. All right, tonight's stream. How about... bubblegum Mickey Mouse sold out. We're also going to say, well, that doesn't need to be the leading title. Come on. Let's say hot jungle. Let's say pricey jungle. Let's say heavy jungle pack split. It is a heavy jungle pack split. That's true. New box break, question mark. We have to choose a new box break, actually. That's one of the things we need. And, restock of Storm Emeralda. That's right. Actually, I'm trying to restock it. Let me mention this to this one guy. Hold on, wait a second. This guy wants me to restock it. All right, there we go. All right, so Team Rocket Grunt has the first order. After those 10 cold live customs last night, they're hot. Let me get one live custom and another spot in the Zard gym break. Oh, right, I remember that. It's coming back to me now. Let's hit refresh on the website. So 3816 was Justin K's last order, and that's where we're sitting now. Okay, good. Let's see how much money we have in our PayPal account. That's kind of a good piece of information. Boom. My throat's itchy. I feel like coughing. Excuse me. All right, let's see. I've learned to lean my head all the way back when I cough. It reduces headache. Isn't that crazy? That's how much coughing I've done in my life. I don't even smoke. All right, so PayPal's looking fine. Let's take a look at Bank of America. We got our Bank of America account. That's the big business account. Important stuff going on in there. What the hell? Oh, there it goes. Please update your business information. I think not. All right, looking good. Both accounts are looking nice. That's good. Beckett, I went to do a Beckett submission, and they're already closed. So no more Beckett submissions. Did we already remove that from up here? BGS. No price tag on BGS. Good. I guess what I could do is I could price BGS for like their more expensive faster grade, but I don't know. CGC Cards has not given me an update on any of our previous submissions. They're all just received. Tag grading is still stuck in image processing. I looked at the BGS submissions. There is one that has finished grading, like a group submission, and it's just been sitting there forever. And then there's two, one for Sarah Dusenberry, one for Hathim, where it's like faster grading, and they're just sitting there. They're not even graded. It's just gonna take forever, I guess. I don't know. Like, all the grading companies are behind. It's just how it is, guys. How'd this video do? I made this video called "Getting the Hell Out of Missouri." It's doing all right. On track to do maybe about 3,000 views. It's kind of weird. Back in the day when I had the TheCardconomist channel, we'd get like 100,000 views, 50,000 views. I mean, even 10,000 views was not considered a lot. We get TheCardconomist, we barely get any views. It's very interesting. Different group, different community, different niche thing. I didn't really build up a long form video channel at all. I mean, we never post long form. All right. What are these messages? We got a Mr. Sven Jansen. Thanks. Let me get this fixed for you. So tonight we're going to do some shipping for two gentlemen, a Mr. Sven and a Mr. what's his name? Hold on, let me grab his box. So I got an international package back. It got return shipped to me. So we have to make sure this goes back out. I told him I would, and I haven't made the label yet, so I need to make the label so that he doesn't get nervous. If you don't work on something, it makes people nervous. Here, let me take a cough drop. All right, let me turn on the iPad so I can see your comments more easily. Still setting up, man. All right, we got some Terraria playing. Click. Wow, I love the thumbnail, man. The thumbnail's so pretty with those gold stars. So here's a $60 gym break for Roki Hyun if you want to take the risk on $60. That's a big one. Whew. Tammy, tell us all about your vacation. Tell us about your trip. All right. Let me mark this unread for Mr. Sven. We're going to start with Team Rocket Grunt's order. He says, after those 10 live cold customs, they are hot. You're right. Last night we had a lot of live customs go off. I'm going to put a new one in the back and then do your order right after, okay? It won't affect your order, but it will affect future orders. Magneton. This one's kind of cool. Pristine Mr. Mime. This one's cool too, actually. Don't I have another one of these? So we got a Raikou for 135. This Mimikyu is apparently 225. Computer, the trip was exhausting. What? Hey, I might be moving to Vegas. What do you think of that? That means I can take trips to California pretty quickly if I wanted. I mean, I could take trips to California anyways. You know, from Missouri is just... Man, Lake of the Ozarks doesn't have an airport. No airport out here. They do. There's a tiny airport. It does little airplanes. I ain't flying those. They scare me. You ever see those little airplanes? They always look like they're going to break or something. I made some PokeBruhs today. So there are fresh PokeBruhs in the box. Number 243. Raikou. Poker. I'll just say poker. P10. This is a PSA 10 graded poker card. PSA's 10s are going to have a premium, guys, because, you know, PSA's not grading at bulk level anymore. Who knows when they get back into that? Could be a long-ass time. They're opening up another facility, though. There it is. Mister, I want something cool to slab away. Check out the Pricey Slabs channel. That's all I got. You guys have drained me of all my good slabs. Well, I mean, there's still good slabs over there, but I'm just saying, you're not going to find the kind of slabs we had 3 years ago. Those are gone. They're all gone now. All right, now we can put this away and get this for Team Rocket Grunt. How many did he want? He wanted 1 live custom and another spot in the Zard. You got it. Good luck, man. 1, 2, 3. Oh, that goes to the back. 4. There we go. We had a new guy named Justin Kim, and he was going ham on the live customs, Poke Shuffles, and other shuffles. One cold one. I'm sorry, no Super Snipe this time. Yeah, he was just going crazy on him. Let's go ahead and take a look. You know, I'm thinking about making more products like the Poke Shuffles, because over time, I feel like dramatically that has become a large part of our sales. Like last night, I think that guy spent close to $900 just on live customs, Poke Shuffles, and other shuffles. And he actually did pretty well. He might have gotten more than $900 back. But it's interesting, people just like to be able to randomly pull slabs. I mean, all the same slabs are for sale on the table, and yet people prefer to pull them out of the Poke Shuffles and the other shuffles. So, you know, it makes me think we should have maybe like a larger variety of options. Like I was thinking the other day, Poke Shuffles live customs, they're randomly shuffled, right? We should go back to having that one where it was in a queue, and you could tell when it's getting close to like a snipe or something like that, you know, that kind of deal. That was fun. That was fun because it was like, you know, you wondered how far along it was. All right, so we're not done. He wants another spot in the Charizard. Take a look at this Charizard. He's 24 out of 36. He is close. He has made it a long way. Yes, he has. He has made it a very long way. T-Rocket Grunt's taking another half spot in here. It's $30 to join him. It's a gym break. With the gym break, one person will get a regular Pokemon card. The other person will get an entry spot into this Charizard break. Okay. Pretty cool. Yeah, a couple of those went off last night, and yeah, Charizard's just getting real close. You can just buy directly in for $60. What you're buying is a custom booster pack, $60 custom booster pack. All custom booster packs contain a Pokemon card. One will contain the Psyduck drawing, and if you pull the Psyduck, I will trade him for this Charizard. You know the odds, you know the cost. It's very straightforward, and we've been hosting those breaks for 6 years. I don't think we did it in the first year. We introduced the live customs in the first year, I think, but we didn't introduce table breaks till later. All right, so hey, it's Mr. Kendo Pelor. Kendo, Hey, listen, your stuff's getting old. You need to ship, or you need to send in $5 to update the age of your bag, okay? So I'm recommending that so that your stuff doesn't look like it's over a year old. That's true for anyone, by the way. If your stuff gets over a year old, it's considered abandoned. You don't want to be with an abandoned bag. All right, let's see. You could also just ship it out for $9 if you wish. You got some cool cards. You can also do trades. You can put your ungraded cards on consignment. Did you know you can do that now? So that's true for all of you guys. If you ever have a card, you want to just sell it, and it's not even graded, you can still ask me to put it up on the table, and in many cases, I will. It just depends on what card it is. Like, I'm not going to sell an energy card for you, but, you know, if a card's like 25 bucks, sure, why not? Was that Gold Star Charizard 84 or 94? Gold Star Charizard 84 or 94. What's your question? Oh, Pop 94. That's what that stands for, Population 94. I was talking to a guy who made a offer on this Mudkip. Do you want to know what the offer was? The offer for this one card was $250,000. And for me to fly out and meet him, or he would fly to me and meet him. And I found out this is like the 5th rarest Gold Star. It goes like Torchic and Latios, Gyarados, and then I think it's Mudkip after that. So he is I believe, if I haven't done it wrong, he's the 5th rarest Gold Star in existence. I just bought him because he was Team Rocket Returns. I don't like Mudkip. I don't like Torchic either. I wish I'd bought the Torchic. Javier Arroyo's next. One live custom. Here goes. Oops. Come on now. I got him for $3,000. How shocking. Now, that was a while ago, though. I bought him for $3,000 before a lot of things had changed. Really scary and crazy to think about. Ah. You'll float too. I'm sorry, man. One little red balloon. All right. Let's grab from this box. The Patrick. Tom Nook. Pretty cool. He should be up on eBay. Tom Nook should be an eBay listing. Oh, look at this. You got Aki and Jimeno together for 180. I'm sorry, for 320. There's a Chainsaw Man signature up on the table, and it's a 1 of 2 break, a gym break, and it's sitting there, and you need $40 to get the other half, so 40 bucks and it goes off. Oh, this is cool. At this point, I'm reaching for anything at this point when it comes to putting stuff into the live custom, because we're running out of stuff. We are running out of stuff. I'm not going to lie. We are short on slabs. We haven't had PSA, a tag grading, a Beckett grading, or a tag grading return in a little while, and it's getting pretty sparse out here. We need slabs. It's the Jungle Pack First Edition. It's a heavy Jungle Pack, but it's actually Japanese. All Jungle Packs that are Japanese are heavy. Technically, that's how they work. But yeah, it's a pricey little break, and I can't wait to host it for you guys. Here's a gym break on it for $60. It's $119 to buy directly in. So this is, it's on another level. Much bigger break than usual. That's a big one. All right, how about this guy? So he's 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1. All right. This Tyranitar is going to be a hit in the box then, because he's more than halfway at the ceiling. Right, because the ceiling's 400. We're going to say Poker Tyranitar. P10. I'm going to send a couple poker cards off to CGC, guys. Get some back from them, too. I got a pretty decently sized submission just went to CGC. Well, the label's printed anyways. Miss Alexis will be the one to send it out. Man, we've come a long way, and the Pokemon card hobby is on fire, guys. It's absolutely crazy right now. And, you know, it may take a while for the dust to settle. I don't think it's going anywhere. I think people trading Pokemon cards back and forth, this was bound to happen. When you take a look at what people can do with their free time, there are not a lot of options. There's just not a lot to do. Like, what are you going to do? Go to the bar and drink? You gonna go to the club dancing every day? Not me. People need an activity beyond video games and watching Netflix, which is just, you know, something you do while you're sitting at home on your couch. It's going to be Pokemon card trading, and not just Pokemon. Pokemon's just the big one. It's going to be everything. That's my belief, is it's going to become everything. There'll be a trading card for everything. Collectibles in general. That's why I went after those bubblegum Mickey Mouse cards, because I said the same things that made Pokemon so expensive will make Mickey Mouse expensive. All right, so let's count this up. We got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Okay. Boop. In he goes, and up he goes into the live customs box. Pokemon and Pokemon accessories, that's right. Imagine buying a Mudkip card instead of a Ferrari. Yeah, well, you know what? The Ferrari doesn't double in price. The Ferrari's not going to $1 million. That guy's going to $1 million. He will. He will, I'm confident. You know what? The only cards I ever received big offers on, these 3 right here. Nothing else. Not even that guy. Like, he sold for $200,000 recently, I think, like 198. I get requests by rich guys for these 3 guys all the time. They want them. They want the gold stars bad. They want them so bad. And so it's ironic that these would be the offers that are most tempting, right? That's a lot of cash for Mudkip. I could go buy a better house with that Mudkip. And yet it's a clear indicator he's the only one I shouldn't be selling. He's the only one I need to maintain and keep. All the other cards can go in the bin. They only ask for the gold stars. They want the gold stars constantly. They go, please, give me a gold star, please. They're not like that. But, you know, it's interesting. One of the guys who made an offer had an awful lot of them already. And he's clearly just buying up the whole market on them. And it makes sense. I mean, they're beautiful. They're shiny. They're from a time period where the population counts are terribly low. They still feel very vintage. They're Delta species, some of them, like these 2. Yeah, it makes a lot of sense. But I don't get a lot of offers on anything else, just the gold stars. So that tells me, and it's not just one guy, it's a bunch of guys. That tells me that these are it. This is like the blue chip stock. You know, this is like buying Amazon or Google. These guys right here, they're just so, and you're not going to afford one. I can't even afford one. That's the irony. I can't even buy one of these anymore. I just have the ones I already have. So it's just rich guys scratching themselves over, you know, these gold stars. And I don't know what they get once those are impossibly expensive. I don't know what's next. Probably something. But this guy does not so bad, and this guy's kind of cool. This guy's even cooler now that he's in the anniversary collection, but I'm going to put this back up here. All right. Cool, right? Gold stars. They're a big deal. Finally, he's here. What's up, Jacob? I was here on time. What do you mean, finally he's here? All right, let's see what's next. What do we got going on tonight? Any orders? It is Saturday night, and we're here, and we're live, and we're on time. Here's Mr. Steven Gonzalez. He says, you know, on time for me is like 2:20 a.m. Does Beckett grade poker cards? They do. Beckett does grade poker cards. I've graded them with them before. I've got 2 black label ones. I gave one to Mike's side when we hit 100,000. Let's see. Let me jump back over here to orders. I give, I believe, a poker black label Espeon to him because he's an Espeon fan. Here's Steven Gonzalez, 2 of the other shuffles. All right, the other shuffles. The shuffles that are the other ones. Ooh, can I see the black labels? They're kind of put away, but I could probably show them off at some point. 1, 2, 3. Actually, I might just have 1 left. I think I used to have 2, and one of them was the Espeon, and then I gave it to him as a gift. He's been doing the editing for a long time. He does a pretty good job. And I've given him a couple Espeons over time as gifts. Sadly, I don't really have any more interesting Espeons to share. We are. I like it when... I got 2 black labels here to show off. I like it when our people in our group really do the same thing I'm doing and invest in Pokemon cards, literally. Wait a wee. So I got these 2. I got a black label Typhlosion. That's kind of cool. Got that a while back. Probably should be grading a whole bunch of these with BGS, but I don't know. Let's put this away. Yeah, those black labels sell for a lot. If you don't get the black label, you can always regrade the card, I guess. Holy bananas, so cool. Holy bananas! All right. Did you send a lot of poker cards to them to get the black label? Yeah, so I sent them about 3 poker decks, which is about 150 cards, and 2 of them got black labels, both from Silver Deck. So yeah, it's pretty rare to get the black label. It always has been. All right. Houndoom, Diglett, Bulbasaur, Goblin Bombardment, and Challenge for Frodo. I think it is time. Oh, I know what we need to do. We need these up on the table. Aha, we pulled these down for the Crimson Invasion box break, remember? Here we go. There they are. I've been grading my CGC card, or my Topps cards with CGC because they properly label them. PSA does not. So people like that PSA label, but man, the CGC gives them their correct labeling, and I find that really nice. So like in this latest submission, I'm sending them 5 holographic Topps cards, and I'm not sending those to PSA anymore. Again, CGC just correctly labels them. Why would I want to grade them with PSA? Don't sell them. Jesus, 2 out of 350. No, not 350. 2 out of 150. And poker cards can be pretty clean, actually. When they're clean, they're really clean. So the fact that it was only 2 out of 150, and really it was more like 162, it was 2 out of 162 cards. The fact that only 2 of them came back black label was pretty rough. Most of them didn't grade pristine either. Most of them graded 9.5. And I lost, I guess in theory, I lost a lot of money on that. But if that one Typhlosion sells for like, I don't know, like $4,000, okay, now I'm fine again. So I guess just getting 1 black label makes up for that cost. And that's probably part of how the black label price is determined. All right, at the request of Miss Bridget, I have purchased more Amiibo cards. We got the Amiibo Hello Kitty, which I'm not so sure I like those as much. But we've also got these other Animal Crossing Amiibos. And they cost more now. They're more expensive this time. Remember these? We had these for a while, and then we sold out because they kept getting put into like the jumbo pack break. Here we are. And then she's like, "Where are the Amiibos?" And I was like, "I sold out of them." And then she's like, "I want more of them." 150 is not terrible. That's still like 1 in 75 chance. Yeah, and really the real cost of grading with Beckett was the fact that like 95% of the cards graded 9.5. Only like 5 of them graded pristine. Almost none of them graded pristine. So almost all the cards graded 9.5, 2 graded black label, and then the rest 9.5. So, and they just wouldn't sell. Nobody wants to buy 9.5s. So I started cracking them and regrading them with PSA. So it's an astronomical loss, you know. It's the cost of grading all those cards at the base level times the number of cards sent that got 9.5. And most of them did, like 100, probably like 100. If there were 162 cards sent, probably about 155 of them got 9.5s. Just terrible. And so financially, it's very hard to do well with them if they're gonna give out only 9.5s. All the money that black label, and imagine the Typhlosion didn't get a black label. That would have made it even worse. Let me turn the volume down here. All right. So this is Amiibo. I'm going to zoom in here and take a cute little picture. Click. And we're going to get this up on the menu real fast because we need to. Okay, we're going to hit edit, crop. I finished beating that Advance Wars game already. The one you guys watched me play briefly. Did you guys like that? That was fun, right? All right, let's see. We're going to hit done. Okay. And now we're going to upload this to, I uploaded over here to Discord. And now let's add this to the menu. So this is Amiibos. We just got a couple of them. I didn't buy like 10 boxes or anything. They're really rare, actually. Animal Crossing collectible cards are rare. You probably only sent your best ones. Well, I mean, I don't know about that. I just picked some boxes, and the cards that came out looked really good. So I just assumed, okay, these are really good. Why is my calculator closed? What the hell? I swear it does that all the time. Okay, calculator is open. Lots of 5 packs, huh? Okay, so time to figure out a price. Divided by 10. $13 a pack will be the price. So we're going to head over and add new product. I don't think we're going to create a category for Animal Crossing. There's just not enough. Animal Crossing Amiibo. Okay. These packs contain 3 cards per pack. They are Amiibo cards, so they have an in-game functionality with Animal Crossing. Okay, price $13. And now let's head right over here to add image. Here it is, set product image. That shiny Kabutops has really gone up in price. Shiny Kabutops. Are you talking about the one from Neo Destiny? I think I own one of those, don't I? He was one of my only cards that I pulled from that set. I also owned the shiny Celebi a long time ago because my friend traded me it. And it was just around that time that I realized he was kind of giving up on card collecting. I think I said this exact story not too long ago. So me and Vincent were the last ones on our street who were still card collecting. And, you know, I wanted, of course, his shiny Celebi because it's Neo Destiny and the shinies are rare. And he wouldn't give me the Celebi, but eventually one day he did for a pretty easy trade, actually. And I just knew what was happening. He was quitting. When people give up on collecting, they trade their cards poorly. They don't do a good job of it. I learned a lot from that as a child, you know. When people are no longer interested in a thing, they don't care if it profits. They're more about, you know, getting back something or maybe just having one last hurrah. And so they don't really struggle or have as much patience for the trade that they probably deserve or the trade that they want or the money that they want. So I learned that even at the age of like, how old would I have been? Like 14, 15 at that point? Yeah, he gave me his shining Celebi without putting up much of a fight, and I knew it was over. I knew that no one on the street collected cards anymore but me. So I put my book away, and it was over for me too, because once you're the last guy collecting, it's not fun. It's not fun at all. You can't be the only one. All right, did you sell me that? That wasn't his. That's what I sold you, though, yes. I sold you the Shining Celebi for $7K, and it's probably worth like 25 or 30 or 40K now, some big number. So you did good. You know, that was a couple months ago. I don't remember how long ago that was. But Pokemon cards have continued to climb. And you got that, and then I took the money from the sale, and I bought one of my favorite cards. So Celebi's not one of my favorites. I bought this guy. This is a card I'd been eyeballing for a long time, and I just, you know, had to put some money together to buy it, that's all. And so that's what I did. I sold you the Shining Celebi, and I picked this guy up for $14,000. So I sold you one card for $7,000, and I took the cash and I ran out and bought one of these. He's only population 67. Wow, really rare. And I know these Japanese shiny cards from the Neo Destiny collection have been doing really well. So I don't know what he's worth now, but hopefully he's going up too. Here it is, shining. But I know your Celebi is doing well because it's in that set, you know. We're going to say Shining Tyranitar Neo. It looks like there's one for sale. They want $50,000 for it. Man, thank heavens I bought one at that time, because I doubt this is going to have its price reduced much. Oh, look, actually it says Pop 71 now, so it's all the way up to Pop 71 since then. But how many more Neo Destiny packs are there in the world? There must not be very many, so I can't imagine there's a ton more to grade. So there it is. Still under Pop 100, and if we type in Neo Shining Japanese, I wonder if we find anything interesting. Yeah, there's just one for sale. He's asking 50K. That's Kid Icarus. His prices are usually pretty accurate. Okay. It looks like if we're looking at this, a shining Charizard once sold for 100,000 in auction. Then it looks like in June, which is after May, somebody listed one for 55,000. That doesn't make any sense. Why'd they do that? Because this one sold for 100,000 in May. So someone in June listed one for 55,000. It got snatched up. And then no other information. Huh. Pretty interesting. Why would you list it at half the price? You must have been desperate for the cash or something. There's no listings on eBay for Selby. That's a good thing. I still hold a couple of them. I think I hold 3 of the Shining Tyrannitars and 1 of the Japanese Shining Tyrannitars. And then I hold, I believe I still have the Shining Mewtwo and a Shining Kabutops. And of course I have the Shining Charizard. But I don't have any more of the Japanese ones. Yeah, I was gobbling them up. I was just spending all my money on Pokemons. Drew that on stream. Amazing moment. Oh, right. You pulled one out of one of the purple packs. That's right. That was a big moment. Jacob Chickering, 10 Poke Shuffles. All right, good luck, Jacob Chickering. 10 of these? So I got a submission out with CGC. The question I have next is, should I try a smaller new grading company? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. Scooby-Dooby-Doo-Doo-Doo. Here's Urshifu. Here's one Urshifu for Jacob Chickering. Whoa, looks like we have a lot of room for more cards in the Poke Shuffle, too. We got to stay on top of that, man. All right, what we got? Urshifu. I was shopping around today. If you just came into the stream, I was shopping around today for Bubblegum Mickey Mouse cards, and they're all gone. Bubblegum Mickey Mouse is, wait, this says T10, 077. No, this is correct. I wrongly wrote down T10, but look, its number is 077077. I don't have a tag 10 of that. So I'm sorry, I wrote down T10, but it's actually CGC 10. Now, that's a cheap price. I mean, $50 for an Altart 10. That could only be because it's gem mint instead of pristine. Wonder why. It's a Japanese card. It actually might be wrongly graded. I mean, you might be able to cross this into an actual, like, PSA 10 or tag 10. I wouldn't bet on a Beckett pristine. But that's a lovely card. Let me know if you want to keep it or re-roll it for $40. Keep? Oh, you already said keep. All right. Good deal. Okay. Get this. It's already been 2 months since I submitted our first submission to CGC since PSA shut down. It's already been 2 months. Time flies, guys. I don't know how many months it'll take to start getting CGC submissions back, but by God, I hope they don't take too long. I'm scared. I think I need to do a couple steps. I think I need to send out a coin submission and a CGC submission as well. I don't even like CGC, man. It is hard to sell CGC because I think people just don't like the way the slab looks. I think that's mostly it. And yet, I might have to do it because it's like we're running low, man. We got to have some kind of cards up here. It might be time to dig deep. I'm trying to think what would look good in a did I say CGC? SGC. I'm trying to think of what would look good in an SGC holder. What do you guys think would look, the big black holder, right? SGC, they call it the tuxedo. I don't necessarily agree with it. But I think it looks good with vintage baseball cards. I don't know if it looks good with Pokemon cards. So I'm trying to figure out what to grade with them. Maybe you guys can help. CGC and Tagger for personal collection. Nah, CGC is broad. CGC competes directly with PSA. So does Beckett. So does Tag. Yeah, all of those companies. Those are the big four, I'd say. CGC, Tag, PSA, BGS. SGC is sort of like in a distant fifth place. That's how it feels. But maybe some holders, some cards look good in their holders. David Moraes is next. 2 Animal Crossings and 1 Magic Turtles. All right, 1 Magic Turtles. I wonder if that's gone up, the Turtles. Ninja Turtles. Here it is. And then the fresh amiibo packs, which I just placed over here. So these are a bit of fun. There they are. PSA owns SGC and Beckett, so are they really competing? Yeah, I mean, you get it though, like in the market when you go shopping, when people are deciding what they like best. It is funny that PSA owns both of them. Yeah, we might have to do an SGC submission next just to try and keep up, because I am worried we're about to run out of slabs. I'm pretty worried about that. Zog, Triceraton Castaway. Not Zog. Tenderize. Dimension X. Foot Mystic. Foot Mystic. Foot Ninjas. Shredder's Armor. Dream Beaver. Jenica's Technique. Jenica. All right, they adding a sister in. Path of Ant. They said there's not enough girls in this show. Here's Mountain. Donatello, Mutant Mechanic. Now they have a sister. Continue. Michelangelo's Technique. Undercity Sewers. And Transdimensional Bovine. What am I looking at? All right. Can you change your address during the grading process? You generally can, yes. The best way to do it is to go through their online, method, and then send them an email and call them. Like, go hard on making sure that they truly update it. Because one of my only losses ever was when CGC sent a submission to my old address after I had changed it to the new address, and it just didn't go through. And they explained, oh, you can't just change your address. You have to go change it on the order itself. And I'm like, what the fuck? Good thing you told me that, like, so stupid. Like, why would that not update it for everything? Ooh, you got kicks. New bag. All right. Here we are. And here's Toucan Sam, Horsey, and the pink girl. Oh, the pink girl. All right, lovely. Mr. David, that's scary. Yeah, I learned my lesson the hard way. Whoa. Oh, wait. You said new bag. Yes, sir. All right. Grabbing these. I've been holding off on sending a bunch of stuff because I'm about to move. You should be able to update the address, and it'll take them 6 months to grade your stuff anyway, so you'll be all right. The real question is, how in the world is the market absorbing all these slabs? That's the real question. It's not sustainable, right? Like, there should be pokeflation kicking in at some point. But so far, no pokeflation. So far, no pokeflation. Mr. I can see my 7 slabs up on Propstein for auction now. Thanks again. Sweet! Nice, dude. That is so cool. Yeah, if you guys ever need me to forward your stuff to Propstein, we can get that worked out, okay? So, I want you guys to be able to profit off of your slabs. Like, let's say you get into this Charizard break, and you don't want to trade it back to me. You don't want to put it up here for consignment. So you think I got to sell it. I can forward it to a consigner like Propstein. And that was our first time trying Propstein, and it seems to work. Actually, I'm right now looking at a Propstein auction that I might bid on. And he's been in the game a real long time. Here it is. So 24 out of 36. Getting close, guys. So yeah, not only do you want to pull this for $60, but once you've pulled it, you might just want to cash it out and nothing more. How would you do that? Well, Propstein's a way to do that. Could I list your card on eBay? I could, but that makes taxes pretty complicated for me. Because to my accountant, it looks an awful lot like I made a bunch of money selling a Charizard. That's what it looks like to them. But I didn't, because I'm giving you that money. So inventory-wise, since I'm not very good at tracking inventory that way, I mean, maybe we could. Maybe I could just create a list. Maybe we could do it. Maybe I could create a list. I could probably just create a file for my accountant and just show him what's sold as a consignment. And then at the end of the year, I just give him that list. So maybe it's not as, maybe I'm just being a wimp, you know, scared of change, scared of doing something new, making the game more complicated than it used to be. But I think if I tracked each one, and then when the tax season rolls around, I say, okay, see these items? This was inventory where I didn't really make much more than a consignment fee. And there was an eBay tax and an eBay cut and my cut and then his cut. So in theory, I could list your items up on eBay, but I think you just make more from Propstein. I think those consign guys, they get a special pricing that low volume eBay sellers like myself don't get. So I don't know. Wasn't Propstein involved in a controversy with data leakage from his site? Yeah, so basically he tried to run his own website or something like that. He's basically such a large seller on eBay with such a well-known brand. I think he wanted to try and make his own auction website. So a little ambition there, right? But it ended up being really trickier than he thought it was, and he quickly backed out of it. I think I heard something similar to you where it's like, I don't know. I don't know if it was a rumor or confirmed, but it might have been the case that some people's information got exposed through his website. If it really did happen and it wasn't just people who hate him saying it, because some people don't like him, I guess. If it really did happen, I'm not surprised, because security on a website can get really expensive. And if somebody really wants to target your website, they can. That's why you have big organizations like eBay, and they can afford, you know, hordes of security engineers to work on protecting their website. For a smaller guy, that's harder. And, you know, he's got to become CEO really fast rather than just a guy who knows how to do consignment really well. Let's see. Hacked, exposed, then went back to eBay. I think there's currently an ongoing case. Let me have a sip here. All right, let's see what's next. He got ambitious. It's hard to do, man. That's why eBay is king, you know. Everybody goes to eBay. Jonathan Lewandowski, 10 Storm Emeralda. All right, let's grab it. I don't blame him for wanting to be ambitious, but yeah, it's difficult. 1, 2. I think the reason it was, I think the controversy wasn't as much about the potential data leak, was it? I think it was more like he canceled auctions and backed out of it and said, no, we're not going to do this now. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. There it goes. Just had Grok estimate the Pokemon market value, including all slabs and sealed product. It estimates between 10 and 20 billion. Wow, that's a lot. All right, good luck, Mr. Jonathan. We just got a new shipment of these, and my supplier's offering it at a little bit of a cheaper price, so I might stock even more. Here we are. Mr. How do I book a consultation? Wow, you found that, huh? So on the Discord server, I basically added a channel called Consultation, and I was inspired to do this while watching a podcast on YouTube, where it was a guy talking about how, you know, he does a lot of consultations. And I said, well, I've been doing Pokemon cards pretty much nonstop for 7 years. I probably have advice. I think every very serious Pokemon card YouTuber or Pokemon card investor probably has their own kind of advice. So, you know, you can pick my mind basically. And then I just picked a price for, well, I was like, well, how valuable is my time? If I had to take an hour-long call on a Saturday when I should be off, how much would I like to get paid for an hour of work? And so I went with $150 for an hour conversation about your collection, and I can give you advice and share some deeper thoughts about the hobby or whatever it is you want to talk about. If you'd like to book it, basically you just email me what time you'd like a call, and then you can prep ahead of time by getting like some questions ready. And I think I mentioned in the Discord server channel that you should take a picture of your collection and share it with me. Show me the cards that you're curious about. You can ask pretty much anything you want, and I'll give you my best advice on it, or my truest thoughts on it, I suppose. we are. All right. I've enjoyed the stream since then, but I'm finally here. It's Lucas Quetting. Even if it was 25 billion, that's tiny compared to the fact that many companies exist with much higher valuations. I think Pokies will explode over the next 10 years. Well, yeah, you know, right now, do you really think there's any very serious, you know, investors in the world who are buying Pokemon? Like, there might be some individuals who are wealthy, but there's no, like, serious investors, right? You know what I mean? Like, there's nobody with $10 billion buying Pokemon cards. The moment you get somebody with $10 billion going, all right, let's speculate on the card market like it's fine art, they can go way higher. You know, like the Mudkip, I said the Mudkip was 250. He could go to $1 million. I definitely think he could go to $1 million. I think the Torchic could go to $5 million. It's because we're in a time period. There's a big separation between the rich and the poor, but there is actually a lot of money in the world. There's tons of money. There's so much out there, and not much of it's in Pokemon, in my opinion. It's not that much. It really isn't. Like, you got guys who just, they might have a family trust fund of like $50 million, and every year it just brings in like 15% more. Yeah, they can afford $250,000 Mudkip because it's genuinely not a lot of money to them. And that's just going to keep going on. Unless the economy crashes, unless the dollar crashes, whatever, it's just going to keep going on that way. So this was all part of how I felt about the hobby in general. Here's Jonathan Lewandowski. I would say that a lot, wouldn't I? I'd say there's a lot of money out in the world, a lot more than you realize. And not much of it has been put toward Pokemon yet. A lot of it got put into crypto for a while. So everyone went nuts after crypto. They said, I got to get crypto. And now crypto's kind of stagnating because I think, in theory, a lot of that money has finished landing in crypto. Like, as much was going to be invested is finally there. And obviously there's always more money, but people are kind of, you know, they've put in as much as they're comfortable with. With Pokemon, that hasn't really occurred. It's sort of started. So it's been like 7 years of the Pokemon craziness. But remember, Pokemon actually kind of collapsed in 2023, 2024. Now we're 2 years from that point, and it's jumped up pretty astronomically. And maybe we're due for it to come back down a little bit again. But it's like, it never really got that insane, did it? You know, like, there's rocket boxes that still cost like $40,000. Like, how's that a thing? How are those not $100,000 yet? How many are even left in the world? There can't be that many left. You know, so it's kind of interesting. Think about this. Every single night, myself and a bunch of people get online to sell Pokemon cards because people buy from home now. They don't go to the card shop as often. It's comfortable. It's like DoorDash. But every night, like a machine, all the rip and shippers go live, and the machine just keeps eating all the vintage packs. The machine just keeps eating them. People open the next one, and the next one, and the next one, and it's not just me. It's all these guys. And it could be Sword and Shield, it could be Sun and Moon, it could be XY era, it could be Black and White. And the packs just keep getting gobbled up. None of them grade 10, like 1 or 2 of the cards grade 10 ever. And so it's like a machine. And the machine's not done. It's just going to keep going for a long time. Look at that. So we're opening this guy and this guy. These are super out of print. And I don't know if this looks expensive to you. Maybe it does. But give it another 2 years and you'll think this is crazy cheap. You'll be like, why wasn't I buying Roaring Skies when it was this cheap? So it's just a matter of time because we've always talked about this. You just keep opening them and then one day there's none left. It's a finite, it's like a slot machine, but it's finite. You run out of times that you can run the slot machine. So it's very cool that way. And the reason it works is because people have real attachment to their childhood memories. Childhood memories have a real value. You know, people buy things because of emotion. They don't buy things because, people purchase things for a lot of different reasons. But one especially large reasons people buy stuff is to be happy. And few things bring people more happiness than a good collectible. That's just how it is now. You know, we grew up with toys and meaningful stories that shaped us. TV shows that got us excited, brought us sort of like creativity, inspiration, excitement, dopamine maybe. And now we're adults going, oh yeah, I remember that character. That was so fun. And then somebody says, did you know your favorite character card is up like 200% in value? You're like, oh, I can invest in these. Crazy. And it becomes a game between adults who can acquire all of them. Like, I got all of them and they're mine. When is that going to run out of steam? Is it ever going to run out of steam? I think for the hobby to change, humans would have to like fundamentally change, like genetically or something. Like, we're like the birds who like to collect shiny things for their nests. We have that too. We would have to lose that character trait. When's that going to happen? Not soon. Not in the next 100 years, I don't think. It could happen, but I don't think it'll happen in the next 100 years. Joshua Rose, CB Marvel. You got it, man. All right, here we are, CB Marvel. Didn't get the ping. What? That sucks. I started with 10K in 2022, now worked my way up to an inventory of 2.5 million. This ain't stopping here. eBay has a market value of around 50 billion. They could afford to sweep a lot of the Poke market. I think they probably will buy more and more over time. I have approximately $20,000 worth of Pokemon. Should I hold and sell? Most rare singles from 2018 to 2023 and some sealed. Mr. AI is taking jobs, then you make a resume with AI and the employer uses AI to fill the job. So now you have an AI denying you a job you lost to AI. PSA is buying their own slabs too. Yeah, that could be a thing. All right, so here we are. All right. I was just watching a video on YouTube, and it was a guy trying to, oh no, it was TikTok actually. And it was a guy trying to make $100 on DoorDash. And I watched him getting smoked, man. Like, he was working so hard just to make like $6. Terrible. So if you're working DoorDash or any jobs like that, make sure that you're applying for higher paying jobs in the meantime too, okay? Here's Abomination, Terrifying Titan, Black Tom Cassidy. There's too many people trying to do those driver jobs. Here's Miss Marvel, Blazing Crescendo. That's the thing about work. If you ever do a job that's too easy or too uncomplicated, it'll never pay well because there's too many people that will try to do it. You got to do a job where they're struggling to fill the job. Actually, you know, some of you guys are young guys who are looking for a higher paying job. Oh, look at this. Oh my God. Anthem of Champions, Mythic Rare. Joshua Rose. You probably just pulled a card a lot of people want. Look how cool that is. Holographic too. Look, there's Cyclops. Wow, that's cool, man. I might have to buy more of this product because we sell a lot of this and it is so fun to open. All right. There we go. Okay. Yeah, there's definitely guys out there who could benefit from a higher paying job. And I got to say something. When you have a higher paying job, you're just going to have better Pokemon because it really is just a matter of that in the end. It's not always just about luck. Like, yeah, you can get lucky in a break. You can get lucky when opening booster packs. But the guy with the big collection is just whoever was rich. And so some people are just rich. They inherited money. You can't really compete with them. Don't get jealous of them because it won't help you, okay? So you got to focus on getting some kind of job. And I got to say, right now, the grading companies, you love Pokemon cards, and the grading companies are hiring. If you live in the wrong state from a grading company and they're hiring, you should ask them if, you know, they've got an opening for you. Tell them you're a rabid collector and relocate, man. This, ooh. You can try to get hired by CGC, TAG, PSA, SGC, maybe even a different company. I would relocate for the job. That's what I would do. If it means leaving your family and friends, you know, maybe you move your family out there eventually if it's possible. They might come with you. But yeah, I'd try it, man. Great time to try and get into that industry. Even if the craze doesn't last forever, you'll be able to put that on your resume. It is. I just got a random ad in the middle of the stream. The problem isn't things growing in value, Magician's hobby. The thing is that the growth that you see on single cards will be better used if you actively reinvest until you actually have capital hold. All right, let me put this here. Very nice. What is quantum physics? Boy, I learned briefly about quantum physics. I didn't go to school for like physics. I went to school for computer science. But it had something to do with like basically like smaller and smaller and smaller particles or something like that, like working on physics at the smallest level. Here, I'll ask AI. That sounds like an AI question. AI is basically just the new Google search, isn't it? Let's see. I didn't get tested on quantum physics, so that was nice. It was just something we were introduced to. What is quantum physics? Branch of physics that explains how matter and energy behave at the smallest scales, atoms, electrons, photons, and other subatomic particles. There you go. I was close. Yeah, what did I say? I said it's like working on smaller and smaller physics. Okay, the compounding interest on you actively flipping cards will be more than the card can grow in the same amount of time. You're talking about a subject, Mr. Ding Ting, that I've thought about writing a book on, which a book somewhere out there probably already exists, a book talking about what you just said. And it's sort of like what works better, flipping or holding. That's all it is. Which question is better, flipping or holding? And you think it's flipping until that item you flipped is like 20x the value that it used to be. And you think it's holding until that card sits in your collection and doesn't go up in value very much for 10 years. So the answer is, it's all prediction. It's a gamble. You actually don't know which is going to perform better. All right, we got an empty queue. If you want to have any fun tonight, jump in one of our many table breaks. Let me show you. We got a one-piece break for $25. We got a Lightning Tyranitar break. He just moved to 3 out of 8. We got the free slab. Ooh, how should we host the free slab? Let me go to Discord, to our giveaway channel. We got a giveaway channel, right? All right, here's the giveaway channel. I'm going to put a period in the channel. And now anything after that post is going to be for tonight's giveaway. You need to guess a number between 1 and 20 in that channel right now. So you can do that now. We have this gym break. A gym break has 2 people in it. It's a $40 break. So this is an $80 card. One person is in there, Beatrice. She's waiting for somebody else to join. We have our pack splits. Everybody gets 1 card out of the pack split. $17 for this one, $119 for that one. Wow. Then we have the Bowser break. Here it is. He's up to 4 out of 9 now. He's getting closer. This is a $30 break, and he has 5 spots remaining. He's from 2015, too. He's not exactly... He didn't just get printed. He's out of print. Here's Halo Legacy Master Queef. This one hasn't moved at all. It's a consignment break for Brett Love, and I'm just trying to help him out a little bit. So you can consign cards with me, and I can turn your consigned cards into breaks. This one's called a Hard Light, and it's from... Look how thick the slab is. It's from the Upper Deck Master Chief card set. And it's really cool, man. What's interesting about this one is it's a plastic card, and it's really thick and heavy. So this is a heavy, thick card. So they had to put it in a special holder. You kind of see it. Do you see that? Do you see how it's got like a thickness to it? So anyways, this is one of those chase cards. It's actually quite hard to pull this. And this time it graded 9. I suppose you could pull it out and try to regrade it, see what happens. But, yep, that's going to be 41 and 4 if you like Halo stuff. Halo's been a good seller for us. Speaking of which, here's the trade slab. It's also Halo. It's 1 in 8. We need 7 more people. You can trade cards to get in there. You don't have to buy into it. And then here's Pikachu gift from Pokemon Go. Look, he's got a little gift on his head, right? So this is interesting. The gift promos were usually non-holo, but this Pikachu is actually a holographic card, making him shinier and more desirable. It's a pretty short break, and I think this is a fantastic hold. It's very affordable right now. In 2022 is when it was printed. What's it going to look like by 2032? Could be really expensive by then. So, you know, when do you want to buy it? Do you want to buy it when it's, you know, a $40 break 1 in 5? Or do you want to wait, I don't know, 8 more years and find out that it's 21 and 12 or something like that, you know? Here's one of the biggest breaks on the table. It's the Shining Tyranitar CGC 10. CGC 10s aren't bad, guys. I've got a couple myself. They're not bad. I've got some that I don't sell. Look, you don't see me selling this, right? So we got this beautiful Legendary Collections art. We got Shining Tyranitar. I would keep this, but I want something for you guys. So I always have to have something actually good for you. This is a card I would keep. It's a fantastic card. There's nothing wrong with it. But I have to have something at that level for you guys, too. It's about having something for the audience. So here it is. Nice shining Tyranitar break. You can get in at 40 or you can get in at 400. And there we are. There's the sub list for $40. You have 6 spots left in here. People went really deep yesterday night, so I don't know how busy it's going to be tonight, but people went super deep yesterday. Oh, speaking of which, do we have, where's the giveaway? I'm going to put Miss 6 in the giveaways till she returns. It is. All right. All right. Is that Tyranitar worth more than the rare candy? Yes, he most definitely he is. And we made him 401 in 12 back when we started him like 2 months ago. Mega breaks take a while. They're not very fast. He's probably worth more now than when we started him. So we started him maybe 2 months ago. He probably, if I had to do him again today, probably be 1 in 14. 401 in 14. So he's gone up. And the cheapest PSA 10 of that same card is like $20,000 now. So I don't think it's bad. I really don't. He's an interesting one. Will you pull it? Probably not. The odds are low for that one. He's really tough. I mean, you can jump in for $400 and your odds are still 1 in 12. I mean, that's terrible. It's really tough. So some lucky dog's pulling that multi-$1,000 card. We don't know who it is. But it'll probably be one of these guys who went into the sub list for $40. So imagine that. You go into a sub list for $40. You pull the sub list, and then you're in for 1 in 12. Boom, you get pulled in the 1 in 12. You're sitting on like a $5,000 shining Tyranitar. Is nuts. From 40 to 5,000 is a big leap. But again, the odds are quite bad. So, you know. All right, let's see what you guys are saying. What did you do to Miss 6? Why hasn't I haven't done anything to her. Mister, you put the cards in the wrong bag. Oh, let me take a look. Okay, hold on. You put my cards in Joshua Ramos's pack again. Did I do that twice now? Hold on. What? We can't do that. That was Jonathan Lewandowski going into Joshua Ramos's bag. Is that what you're saying? Hold on. Uh-oh. We can't be doing that. No. Not Jonathan Lewandowski. Who are we talking about here? Give me a second here. Let's get this all sorted, guys. Oh, Joshua Rose. Joshua Rose, your name is so similar. Oh my gosh. Okay. You get me with that name being kind of similar. Okay, I gotta remember that. We have a Mr. Joshua Rose, not to be confused with Joshua Ramos. Your names even phonetically sound the same. There's just a slight difference. My bad, dude. Just looking around, make sure we didn't miss any. My bad, dude. Joshua's been with us a long time. He would have fixed it if it made it all the way over to him. But even if he didn't fix it, I would owe you this. So I would replace it. My bad, dude. Here's what I might do, actually. I might go ahead and do one of these. So when I write the lines under the name, it's a warning to myself saying, hey, there's 2 guys with similar sounding names. So that should help for next time. My bad. We did that twice, huh? That's a sign. That's a sign to add those dashes. All right. And you probably got a bag down here in a different box, don't you? Is that right? Or do you need a new bag? Here it is, Joshua Rose. All right. Okay, so here's your beautiful strong energy. Boop. This is just some bulk. I think we can get rid of that now because you don't need it. All right. Joshua Rose. There we go. I'm glad you guys caught that, by the way. I can even paste the same way you do. All right, we'll put that there. Very nice. I think we're probably ready to start rotating the next box, the LM box. I think that box is ready to rotate. Okay, the queue is open if you guys want any fun. Let me go ahead and see what we got here. We've got, oops, there's that consignment Pikachu, by the way. Numil, he's nice. I'm supposed to list 1 item on eBay per night. Boy, I hate listing items on eBay. Here's Entei. So Entei's ready again. Whalmer's ready again. That's right. Those were some of those ones that came back down. So for the Magmar, let me put him into the Pricey Slabs channel real fast. Pricey Slabs. Okay. I'm going to hit enter. And I'll put it down here. Okay. And then let's get another slab to the front. Oh, man, that's another pricey slab. Hold on, I'll get this one down there, too. Wait, let me retake this so that it's shining more. There it goes. All right, that looks lovely. So we got these vintage CGC 10s. They're nice. All right, there we go. Gardevoir for $70. Holy. I feel like this Gardevoir could go up into the, it's from 2021. I feel like this Gardevoir could go up into the Poke Shuffles. I think I will. Poke Shuffles got to have cards. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. No, 14. Okay. Lovely. 035. Gardevoir. Tag 10. There it is. What do you guys think the next cool thing to add to the menu is? I've got Pal World on the way, more Pal World. Right now I'm speculating on the error boxes. Because we got it right now, but we got the error boxes. Wait, this guy doesn't even have a price. Whoa, that looks really nice. Oh, that's a staff card. All right, there we go. Devil Hunter Makima. Let's take a picture here. I'm going over to the 10s channel, and it's picture time, baby. There it goes. Oops. Use photo. Looks great. I think more Dragon Ball Z. Yeah, there's 2 Dragon Ball sets coming out, if I'm not mistaken. There's a new, like, story Dragon Ball set, and I saw the price. One case, $7,000. Like, I don't know, dude. It just seems like a bad idea. That seems too expensive. That seems too expensive. Are you getting Magic the Gathering? The Hobbit. I think I bought just a little bit of it so far. But that comes out any day now, doesn't it? It comes out soon. It is. Yeah, I haven't bought a ton of that one. That one, I just saw the price and it's like really overwhelmingly expensive. Here's Magnemite. Here's Gift Pikachu. So we can get some of that Magic Hobbit, but I'm a little worried that the price is going to hold it back somewhat. So, like, when we put it up for sale, you guys aren't going to jump on it. Maybe you will. I don't know. Maybe it'll be, like, a big hit. But, you know, when something's already that expensive, it usually kind of hits the brake on how fast it can sell. Okay, these are going down. Good. Let's check the queue real fast, see if anything's happening. We have a Joshua Rose order. All right, this time, not putting you in Joshua Ramos's bag. One more CB Marvel. All right. Here we are. Ready? Good. Serpent Specialist. Hot. Here's a Lightning Strike. Wakanda. Drone Flock. Here's Echo Perceptive Prodigy. Avengers Tower. Mjolnir's Might. Is Mjolnir? TVA Bureaucrat. Hyperion's Atomic Vision. Avengers Tower. They got a tower. Kind of like Trump Tower. Here's Mountain. I saw the Trump Tower in Las Vegas, by the way. Here's MODOK. Birds of Paradise. Agent Phil Coulson. Ooh, Cyberdrive Awakener. That's neat, man. And the Sentry, Golden Guardian. He looks a bit pretentious, almost. All right. He looks like he's heading straight into Agartha. All right, here's Cyberdrive. Are you getting... already read that. All right, here we are. Good. It's a pretty nice building. Trump Tower. Never went inside, though. Yeah, it's all goldenish from the outside. Let's see. He likes gold, apparently. He keeps putting gold all over the place. All right, sounds good. There we go. Would you consider getting Sonic the Hedgehog cards? We have Sonic the Hedgehog cards the whole time. For years. Let me look it up. Give me a second here. Look what I just found. I just found some Charlie Brown. Oh my God, we did have Charlie Brown. It was hidden. I couldn't find it where it was currently at. Ah, here we are. Sonic the Hedgehog. Tops. He's emulating the Russians. So tacky. Well, you know, the Russians like gold, I guess. But, you know, everyone kind of does like gold, technically. China loves gold. Yeah, China's got a ton of it. They buy it all the time. So, look at that Sonic the Hedgehog. And how much does it cost? It should be under the Tops menu. It's not cheap. It's never cheap. Sonic the Hedgehog, $32. That's why no one buys this one. Let me look at it. Let me see if we can lower the price, because I've looked at it multiple times, and it seems the price just goes up further. But maybe it went down. Give me a second. So, notably, our Sonic comes out of sealed boxes. That's pretty important for pulling holographics. All right, you ready? Go. So we're going to say Tops Sonic the Hedgehog. I don't even see boxes for sale. Let me check Sonic the Hedgehog box. There's a box. All right, so that doesn't look too bad. How many packs in a box? Isn't it like 36? Oh, yeah, 36. All right, let's see real fast. You ready? So, divided by 36. It says I should price it right now for $35 a pack. 35. So, yeah, 32 is going to be it. I'm not going to change it because it's not selling. So, I'm just going to keep the same. Let's see. Would you take a offer? I'm going to respond to this guy on eBay. There we go. Hello, thank you for your purchase. No problem. I'm going to turn this down a little bit. Thank you, Joshua Rose. I'm going to hit refresh here. We have a big Jonathan Lewandowski order. I bought some vintage ammunition the other day. Pretty neat. World War II era, .45 ACP. Oh, that's cool. Yeah, World War II stuff is really interesting. 25 Storm Emeralda. One spot in the Tyranitar break. Oh, Mr. Jonathan Lewandowski giving us a treat tonight, guys. A little tasty treat. All right. 25 Storm Emeralda. Oops. There it goes. Ooh, I can't fit your name on it. I'll know who you are. Number 5. All right, so this is halfway done. The Mega Tyranitar sub list halfway there, guys. Look at that Sonic pack. Isn't that nice? I don't know what's up with Tails, but you can tell this is a real Sonic artwork, and this is like a Tops drawing that they kind of added in, and it looks goofy as hell, man. Like this is like Bucky's level of goofy looking. All right. So 25 of these, huh? Well, let's see. We got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. We got 9 here. Good. Speaking of Russia, when are they going to wrap that war up, man? Isn't that sad over there? Ugh. You got the Iran war. You got the Russia war. We are. China's smart, man. They're not in any wars. China's definitely going to... They're probably going to surpass us. They're not involved in any wars. They have strongly worded things to say, and that's about it. And maybe they provide materials or weapons, but they don't actually get themselves into actual wars. It's kind of interesting. Nope, China's just making stuff and selling it to people. They're going to be hella rich, dude. Here's 9... 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25. And we're over there fighting the Iranians a bunch. And, you know, you can tell they're super defiant. They don't want to deal. They want to win. And I think the U.S. is going to be forced to either lose that war the war's ongoing, but we're either going to have to concede to the Iranians because the war's too unpopular or too expensive, or we're going to have to go balls deep on it, probably deploy troops to topple the regime. So, which is exactly what, Trump criticized his predecessor, George Bush, for. So it's very ironic that he would also do it because he spent time convincing everybody what a bad deal that was. Is you ready? So I don't know how that's going to end, but I think Iran knows he's in trouble. I think Iran knows, he's got to win the midterms, and being at war is just not popular. Ready? Snipping this. All right. We'll see how that ends. I wish Japan would be so smart. What about Japan? China's being extremely smart the last 10 years, heavily investing in themselves. Yeah, that's right. It's like what I said. They just make stuff and sell stuff, and that's pretty good strategy. It's not too bad. Of course, they don't have a country like Iran chanting death to China while they build a nuke, so that kind of helps a little bit. But that was kind of because we meddled in Iran in the past, too. We did like a coup and tried to install a friendly leader over there, a leader that would give us what we wanted. So, but yeah, I don't know. It's interesting. All right. I think I heard today that news came out. Iran is willing to wait out Trump's presidency. Not great. Yeah, I think so, too. I think that they don't even have to wait that long. I think they just want to wait till midterm because they know in the midterms, if he loses the Senate and Congress, he could get impeached, put in a peach. So I think they probably see that as a fundamental weakness for him. Like if we actually put troops on the ground, how will that affect the November midterms? Well, it depends on how the American people view the war. Do they really want an invasion, or do they, because American troops are going to die at that point for sure. So I don't know. I think Trump's looking for some kind of trick or solution. He has another option. One option is to absolutely flatten the place. So he could probably just start dropping humongous amounts of bombs all over the place and claiming everything's a military target. Of course, that's going to look pretty bad too. That's going to look like, that's going to look closer to like what Russia's doing to Ukraine a little bit. Here's Groudon. So the perception of the war is very tricky. Most likely what's going to happen is he's going to probably not do the invasion until after the midterms because he's waiting to see if the Republicans can win the midterms. And then in the meantime, he's probably just going to keep, shooting them with missiles, and that's it. He's going to keep picking at them. Code. It's kind of interesting. It almost feels like he could have waited until after the midterms to start the war. So I wonder if there really was a big concern that Iran was that close to getting a nuclear bomb, like on the precipice of it. Code. All right, come on. We got one SR. We got to get more SRs than that. We got 25 packs, which isn't a whole box. Here's Raikou. You have a website store now? I've been out a long time. Hey, what's up, Grunt? Yeah, my wife finally coded a little website. I probably should have just hired a guy to do it, but she wanted to do it really bad, and she finally did it. It's cute. Take a look at it. It works. Go give it a try if you wish. Most people still buy cards the old style. They like using PayPal, ZELLE, CASHAPP, VENMO. By the way, if you guys use Venmo to purchase cards, ooh, here we go. We got Growlithe. If you guys use Venmo to purchase cards, I'm not Venmo, ZELLE. If you use ZELLE to purchase cards, I put you in a ZELLE giveaway every $100 or so. This. Aha! You do pick up an SR. You get the Raikou. Very nice. BB's been saying Iran's weeks away from getting a nuclear weapon for decades. What? A double Raikou? How's that possible? That was back to back. That's got to be like an error or something. That is back to back. These are home baked. All right. That had to be an error. That was cool. Darn, I was hoping for a third one almost. All right. Double Raikous for you, sir. There we go. All right. Good. All right. I'm going to sleeve this. Super weird. It's super super nice bonus is what it is. Of course, that's not the Golden Rayquaza. Who's going to pull the Golden Rayquaza for us so we can have a clip of it and get you in the Hall of Fame? We're looking to add people to the Hall of Fame for sure. Oh, speaking of which, Mr. Joshua Rose pulled a... There we go. Hold on. Let me click that for the August recap. So we're going to make a long form video called the August recap. I'm going to help Mike's side make it a little bit. Early on the stream, a nice Magic the Gathering pull. Mythic, Hollow Mythic Rare for Marvel. All right. Didn't one just get pulled? No, we have not pulled one. Let me see these real fast. All right. I'm going to put this away, and I'm going to go grab this. Mr. Jonathan's order is complete. It's Tam. Hey, what's up, Tam? How's it going? We have an order from 5 minutes ago from a Mr. Matthew Amari. Hello, Matthew. All right. So he wants 2 live customs, 10 Poke Shuffles, and $40 for the Zard break. Now, you must have meant to send $30 for the Zard break. Is that right? Here we are. All right. So this is actually a $30 gym break. Is that what you meant? If you want a whole spot, it's $60. So you got 2 options. Buy a whole spot for $60 or do a gym break for $30. So let me know which of those you wanted to try out. Hey, what's up, Mr. Matthew? Let's see. Okay, back out of there. He says, whoops. Let me get you your 2 live customs and your 10 Poke Shuffles to start. Yeah, the Charizard break's a little bigger than usual, so he costs a little more. He's a true rare candy break. Rare candy breaks are supposed to be impressive. There we go. I'll send the other 20. All right. Ooh, you just got a hit in the live customs, too. Sounds like you were heading for a whole spot. That's awesome. Boop. Oh, my gosh. The Squirtle Poker just got pulled, everybody. That's one of the best cards in the box. You are? All right, let's look for it. Let's see. We still have this card in the box. This is Aggron for 400 from Team Magma, Team Aqua. But you're going to pull this bad boy. Now, you can keep that Squirtle or you can re-roll it for $300. He's Green Deck Squirtle. If you've never collected a Pokemon poker card, you might be tempted to for the first time. He says, yay. Yes, sir. You did very good there. That's from $50 into $350. Let me see this. All right, put this away. Hey, mister, I'm a PSA 1 collector. Do you have any cool ones? Well, PSA 1 specifically. You know, I don't think I have any PSA 1s. No, I shouldn't say that. I probably have some vintage Mickey Mouse PSA 1s. Let's see. So here's an example of a SGC one. Here, let's see. Here's an SGC 2. So I have quite a few PSA 1 Mickey Mouses. They're really old. They're from 1935. And I was just talking about this in stream. I was talking about how, let me toss that away. Look at this. Who's Afraid of the Big Bad Wolf from 1935. This is card number 78. Wow, this one only got an SGC 2. That feels stingy, dude. Can you answer this question? Mickey dressed up as a knight of old and Minnie as a lady fair. Then Mickey rode up to the castle window and, standing on his trusty steed, started to serenade Minnie. She came to the window and Mickey said, "Good day, Juliet." What did Minnie answer? For the answer to this question, see card number 80. Come on, kids, go get more of that bubble gum. So there they are. These are SGC graded 1935 bubblegum Mickeys. and I've collected quite a few of these. I went shopping for these tonight. There's none left. I got on eBay to go looking for them. They're all gone. There used to be a bunch of them. They're all gone now. So somebody ate up a whole bunch of the Mickey Mouse cards. And I was talking about the other day how I sold 2 of them for $3,000 and $4,000. And now I went shopping for them today and I can't find them anymore. So, but anyways, I grabbed those SGC copies, and very interesting. The one, mister, how much? Let me look at which one it is. This is the Soda Pup. Well, I won't lie to you. I got it kind of on the cheaper side, but I'm not really too interested in selling it, especially not now that there's hardly any for sale. And again, I just sold one Mickey Mouse card for $3,000 and one Mickey Mouse card for $4,000. So for this card in particular, Soda Pup, I would probably be looking for about $1.8 thousand. But let me show you, in case you don't believe me, I'm going to show you the 2. I just sold them, okay? Actually, I just got paid out on them too. So I got the email that they are paid out. Give me a second. That one's not a PSA grade, it's an SGC grade, so maybe in theory it's a little cheaper, but I'd probably be looking for about 1.8. That's 1935. That's almost, it's just shy of 100 years old. Oops. Let's see. There we go. Relist them for 10x the price. Well, yeah, sort of. That is the goal a little bit. You know, because I figured there's a mistake people make where they don't really search for SGC. So I figured they probably made that mistake, and then I looked, and there they were. People do that. Here we go. Okay, so check it out. So here's a Mickey Mouse Type 1. Look, he's all ... sold for $4,000. And here's another Mickey Mouse card sold for $3,000. Just sold these 2. And so for this one, I would probably be looking for a similar payout. It's a 1, though. Those were like a little higher than a 1. They are. Oh, well, we already got this on the sleeve. The Soda Pup's pretty cool. Soda Pup, you know why this one's good, by the way? Because it features both Mickey Mouse and Pluto. So with the Mickey Mouse bubblegum cards, you're looking for a couple things. You want some of the popular characters on there, Mickey, Minnie, Pluto, and you're looking for brightness, in my opinion, so brightness matters. On the back of the card, you're looking for no glue, so you can see this one's nice and clean. So even a 1 seems kind of low on this one. It's a very nice looking one. The corners are all there. On some of them, the corners are gone. They've like worn out, so it's round. So this has got 4 pointy corners. It's bright. You can see his face looks pretty white, actually. And all the words are there. It's very readable. It's never been glued. So they gave this a very stingy 1. Do they even know how to grade it? I don't know. And it's Soda Pup, so it's Mickey and Pluto. Honestly, I shouldn't even sell it for 1.8. I should probably sell it for like 3,000. Just looking at it, talking about it. All right, so Matthew, let's get back to your order. Sorry, Matthew. Totally distracted. Congratulations, by the way. Huge win on this pull. Matthew Amari. Thanks, Matthew. Is this your first time purchase? Here it is. Have you ordered with me before? I'm trying to remember. I'll put this back over here. That shouldn't have got a 1. It could probably be a little higher. Just sent the other 20. Nice. All right, so you got the Squirtle Poker. Take a look at this. I bought a Vivid Voltage Charizard. That was kind of nice. Here's the replacement Shanks. Here's another one of those Snorlaxes. I like those. Checklist Cardos. We got the Dark Electrode. Triforce. Okay, I'll put these back down now. I like those Mickey Mouse cards. So that was live customs. Now you need Poke Shuffles. Are you ready for the Poke Shuffles? All right. Sorry, Matthew. Sometimes I go down a rabbit hole in the middle of a person's order. Matthew doesn't mind. He just finished pulling a PSA 10 Poker Squirtle for $50. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. There's 11. What do we got? Spider-Man. Boop, 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 boop. No! All right, it's a cold one. That sucks, man. That's a cold one. Cold round in the Poke Shuffles. You're still way ahead, by the way. So that's like you went in for 100 and you still pulled out a $350 card. So you're way ahead. And then one spot in the Zard. The Zard is on the move, everybody. I know some of you probably think, oh, I'm not going to jump into a break because, oh, it's too much like gambling or something, right? But think about it. When you open a booster pack like this right here, is it not just the same thing? taking a chance on Pokemon cards is pretty inherent to Pokemon cards. I mean, how did that Charizard come into existence? Well, somebody pulled it out of a booster where they probably had odds of like 1 in 20,000 or some ridiculous number. You know, well, if you include the chance of it grading 10 as well, then the numbers get astronomical. So, you know, if you ever want to just have fun in the hobby, instead of just strictly analytically trying to place a bet on which one's going up or which one's underpriced or overpriced, which that's almost like gambling too. You know, trying to bet if a card is too expensive or not expensive enough, or it's going up next week or it's going down next week. If you ever just want to have fun, we host these really quality breaks. These are high quality. I've been hosting them for 6 years. So you can just have some fun. You don't have to do it as a way to make money, but you can think of it as a entertainment with a nice outcome if you win. But so here it is. We got a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25. We're on track. You got anything back from CGC this week? No. Probably going to be like 2 or 3 more months before I get anything back from CGC. That's my bet. We're starting to send them 1 submission per month minimum. 25. So we're up to 25. I'm a little scared because I was kind of anticipating getting back a submission from tag grading at this point, but no tag grading submission has returned. So I'm a little bit scared because tag is taking so long, and they were supposed to kind of be my, you know, my gap in between the CGC, you know, the earliest CGC submission and when they'll actually return. Because with CGC, I'm anticipating 5 to 6 months. That's what I'm anticipating, 5 to 6 months. And we can't wait a whole 5 months for a submission to come back. That's just too long. So in the meantime, we better be getting something back from BGS, PSA, and CGC. I'm sorry, and Tag. But Tag, they just have had my slabs forever. Tag, my oldest submission with them is from March, and now we're in August. That's a full 5 months. When am I getting it back ever? I mean, I submitted it so long ago. Surely they must be close to it. So that's scaring me a little bit. What is this? I just sold a card while we were talking. Listing sold. Topps Pokemon the movie. Execute +1. 550. So I just sold a Topps Holo card on eBay. All right, I'm going to throw that away. Crazy. All right. Pokemon's going nuts, man. I'm telling you, it's going so crazy. We're not done. Oh, yes, we are. That was the whole order for Mr. Matthew. Okay, cool. Thank you, Matthew. And what did Matthew say? Did he say it was his first time? He didn't mention it. Okay. Mine says it will be done soon. It says grading and encapsulation. How about them PSAs? Can you please show the PokeShuffle Slabs when you get a chance? I saw your CGC PSA video. In Taiwan, someone stole a bunch of cards and left. Yeah, I keep hearing about that one because of the sheer size of it. All right, we're showing off the cards remaining in the PokeShuffle. Are you ready? Are you prepared? So here we have Gardevoir. Nice stamped Whooper. This is a pretty bad one, Jigglypuff 9. I mean, somebody might take it home. It's pretty cute, right? Here's Master Ball Nidorino. A Trevenant, tag 10. It looks nice. Here's a Shinji Kanda Duraludon. It's very cheap. Sandy Cheeks. This went back into the wrong box. Goes into this one. Here's a Shinji Kanda Sandshrew. I might be kind of a fan of that guy. I like his art style. It's cool. We got Bulbasaur. Here's a nice one. Here's Paldean Whooper. Here are some interesting ones. These are some Korean cards called 99. And so we've got Dialga and Palkia. Cool. We've got Eevee. Here's a Rocket Dark Jolteon. Looks like it got re-rolled one time. Chinese Charizard. Here's a Ho-Oh. Here's a Suicune 9. Iona Wattrell, pretty cheap. Classic Collection Hypno. Taruka Froakie. Old Maid Jigglypuff. Sharpedo, Mega Sharpedo 10. Shiny Xatu. This is a, oh, it's an 8. Stamped Umbreon 8. Okay, nothing too crazy. Here's a Taruka Dedenne. Victini Poker 10 for just 40 bucks. Gengar 9 from the Trick or Trade collection. Pretty cheap, actually, because the 10 sells for like 300 to 400. Here's an Eevee 10. Here's a Stamped Moltres 9 for just 30 bucks. Mega Heracross. Mega Venusaur. Is this one really in here, I wonder? We haven't pulled this one in a long time. I'm wondering if that's really in there. Here's, sometimes I think those slabs get put in there by accident. Here's Fuecoco. We've got a Charmander Old Maid, Chespin XY, Square Cut Parasect, and this lovely Team Rocket Regirock is a chase card for 100. There it is. Are those all Poke Shuffle? Those are Poke Shuffles, yeah. We're running out of cards that are good for the Poke Shuffle, so at some point we might start to inject fluff. The fluff would look like this. 10 booster packs of Storm Emeralda, something like that. So we've had a Pokemon card slab drought before, where I'm just about out of slabs, and we're heading toward that pretty quickly. It feels like. I mean, I'm looking at my inventory and it looks thin. All right. So where are we on to now? Let's see what's next. Boop, boop. I'm hitting refresh. I think the queue is open. Musabot's here, and he gifted 5 memberships. Wow, you're out of control, man. All right, Musabot, he's like Musabot the Generous, apparently, because he's up to 293 plus 25 in donations. That's $318 in donations. Holy moly, dude. 318. There you go. All right. You're scaring me. That's a lot. Now, this Charizard's kind of the news story right now. He's 11 spots away, which sounds like a lot, but it's really not. Sometimes slabs move like that. They just pop off, especially when they're interesting. Now, here's the deal with this one. That's a gym break. So in $30, this hits 26 out of 36. And there it is again. That's the whole 151 Charizard. It's a pretty desirable card. From the Scarlet Violet time period, what's he, like the 6th most popular or 7th most popular card in the whole time period? He's up there. He's way up there. We are. I'd like to do a break on the Magikarp too, maybe. All right. There goes. So, I'm going to hit refresh here. And I think what we ought to do at this point is start pulling these slabs onto the table so I can show them off. We got Numel, we got Mr. Mime, we got Muck, we got Magnemite, Mimikyu, Magneton, Melton, Denji, Halo, Professor Oak. Let's start pulling these down into the rotation box because it's time for them to rotate. This is the LM box. Hey, broski, what's going on with Tag? Are they shutting down? Is PSA better? Yeah, they're taking forever. Oh, wait, what's this? These are 9s. These shouldn't even be in here. Oops. So I guess these got put in that box by accident. They shouldn't even be there. All right, Pitiful Home. That's nice. Pidgeotto Red 10. Poliwag. I'm surviving off of these poker cards, man. They're all I have left. We could put that in the Poke Shuffle, probably. Maybe I should. Here's Psyduck. Yeah, we're running out of cards for sure. Just looking at these. These are all big enough to fit into the live customs, but not into the Poke Shuffle. Poke Shuffle requires a real cheap one. Something nice, you know. Something that's PSA 10, but also cheap. How do you find that? Do you know of anyone who grades those Burger King Gold cards? I've seen a couple of those graded. I even graded a few, but, you know, I don't know anyone dedicated to just grading them. I mean, there's only so many of them in the world. Rhyhorn, Mr. Mime. So you can see we have plenty of poker cards. Misty's Goldeen. That's pricey. That's a Gym Heroes. Misty's Goldeen common for 400. And that might be cheap. And it's crazy it got a tag 10 because, boy, does tag not like to give vintage cards 10. They're really rough. They're like, none of your cards grade 10. They grade them harsher than PSA does. I know because I crossed several tag cards to PSA and they went up. And then I crossed several PSA cards to tag and they went down. So tag's grading the vintage cards harsher. Here's a Ninetales, another Ninetales. Huh, 2 different Ninetales. Look at the model changed slightly. Okay, that's cool. Magikarp, Mr. Mime. Here's another Luigi. Here's another Luigi. Poor Luigi. Ooh, look at that Mario, dude. That looks sweet. Luzamine. So I've still got this. I didn't know that. Wow, that's a cool card. Oh, that's 500. That should be in the pricey slab channel, not in the M's. That's a cool one. I meant what companies grade the Burger King Gold card? Oh, PSA definitely grades it. And that's a Pokemon Black one. That's so interesting. So it's much cheaper. Porygon. That's pretty good. Red Deck Nidoking. That's good. Oh, I gotta look at that one. That one probably needs a reprice. This needs a reprice. Princess Peach, Mario. So a lot of the Mario poker cards in there. That Poke Shuffle going to turn into the Mario poker card shuffle in like 2 seconds here, because what I'm not seeing are a lot of good PSA 10s to put in there. Like, look, this could go in. Actually, this could go in the Waifu Shuffle. Princess Peach, Machamp, Mimikyu. Ooh, wow, that needs to be repriced too. This is probably underpriced, so this one is a reprice for sure. Ooh, this is nice for like the live customs. Professor Oak, there we go. There's one that could fit in the Poke Shuffles. And it's a Pokemon card. Cool. Okay, let's see what else. What's back here? Oh, yeah, look at this. Did you guys remember this? So it's 5 slabs for $430. But it turned out, I think I have a complete Zelda poker collection. I think they all graded 10. So I'd like to sell the whole thing together. One big whopping assortment for like, probably like 1.2 thousand or something. So we're going to not put these up for sale yet. That was really cool that we got all 10s on those. Probably the whole deck was good. Whoa. Slabs want to jump out of my hands. All right, I'm going to look at that one too. Only 100 on that one, huh? Mario Aces of Clubs. Doesn't that look nice? Wow, that looks so good. Princess Peach, Luigi, Mimikyu, Palafin, Metagross, Meowth. There we go. We got some of these, huh? Nessa. Yeah, we're out, man. We're out of cheap slabs. The Poke Shuffles are too good. We run out of cheap slabs because of the Poke Shuffles. We run out so fast. So these are all going to end up getting repricing. Luzamine, huh? Let's get to it. Let's see about this real fast. Let's just see. All right, just respond to that real fast. Meowth. Let's look up Old Maid Meowth. Prices might be rising on cards like that just because it's a bit older and grading is shut down, so no one's sending in, you know, more Meowths to grade. But it looks like it's going to go for about 45-ish. Let me look. Well, you know, with taxes, it would be 50 anyways. We're going to stick it in there for 50. I'm almost out of these slabs. Let's do it. Oh, that's live customs. Wait a second, wrong box. Are those Zelda cards sequential? They are, actually. I think they are. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. So there's a Meowth going in. Old Maid Meowth. T10. Watching some videos today of some real estate agents, and they were going through those freshly built homes in Las Vegas up in the mountainside. Pretty good looking. Modern design. It's all fresh. Who doesn't like fresh? Joshua Rhodes is back. He's going to say 2 more of those Marvel packs. All right, 2 more Marvel. You got it. Did I order more of these? I think I ordered more, didn't I? Okay. There we go. Let's start snipping. Very nice. Okay, snipping this. Snip. Magic the Gathering Collector Booster has been doing numbers, guys. This is popular. Hour of Defeat. Kree Sentinel, not to be confused with Knee Sentinel. Subterranean Cavern. Justice Vance. Okoye, Voltaic Whip, Crossover Collaboration, She-Hulk, Attorney at Law, Human Torch, Johnny Storm, Mountain, Captain Marvel, Shooting Star, Blasphemous Act, Monica the Marvel, and Dig Through Time, and the Superhero Civil War. All right. You think the United States could have a civil war? What would that even look like? It is Dig Through Time. You always get these guys on like podcasts and stuff saying, we're right next to a civil war. I don't know if I believe that. It's like there's so many wealthy Americans who would probably rather not. You know what I mean? It is. All right. We're in an interesting time period, though, where the Democrats and the Republicans both seem to be heading closer to authoritarianism. Here's Bold Biochemist. Ooh. Herbie, Scout Unit. Go Nuts. Too Evil to Stay Dead. Uh-oh. Thor Odinson? Ultimate Alliance. Ooh. I want one of those. Hey, look, they're beating up Doctor Doom in that one. That one might actually be pretty good, because we got that Doctor Doom film coming out. Terramorphic. Void Helix. Abomination, Terrifying Titan. Uh-oh, he's pretty terrifying. Here's Forced. I spoke to my herb garden about Terrifying Titan after a good cry. Here's Lovable Robot. Avengers Disassembled. Black Panther, Wakandan King. Ultron, Artificial Malevolence. All right, there we go. Very good. Black Panther. Very good. Here's Abomination. Ooh. Very nice. And Ultimate Alliance. All right. Very good. Set all that to the side. Joshua Rose. Ooh, let's grab the right box. Not to be confused with Joshua Ramos. Ta-da! Thank you, Joshua. This stream brought to you by Joshua. That guy's going a little bit deep tonight. How cool is that? All right, that's all done. We have an order over here with Zachary Standing. Welcome back, Zach. Mr. Zach, he's one of those newer guys. You could ask Chadwick Boseman to sign that. Sadly not. Here's Mr. Zach. He says, 1 PokeBruhs. $25 PokeBruhs. What do you mean by that? PokeBruhs? PokeBruhs. Like B-R-I-G-S. Briggs. What do you mean by that, Mr. Zach? PokeBruhs. He dead, though. Yeah. He passed away from colon cancer. Dang, dude. That really sucks. All right, Mr. Zach. Oh, PokeBruhs. Ah, that makes a lot of sense. Here we go. All right. So here are the new PokeBruhs. PokeBruhs, what are they? They're just ungraded Pokemon cards. 1, 2, 3 to the back. So you're getting this one. Some packs are hotter. Some packs are colder. I'm working on them. They're just kind of made up. You got these art box stickers. You might see a lot of those over time in here because I got a lot to give away, basically. Some holographics, Shiftry, Cherubi, an AR. Oh, you definitely got a cold pack. So this is an example of what a cold pack in the box feels like. All right. There has to be a couple cold packs, actually, so that some packs can be hot. So what do we actually get, though? We get a nice AR, and Cherubi is from 2007. Oh, that's vintage, basically. That's almost vintage. 2007 is forever ago. All right, a little bit of a cold pack this time, Mr. Zach. I'll put it back inside for you. Da-da-da. I got to itch my eye. Oh, my eyeball. Okay, let me put this up here. Those are the PokeBruhs. They're pretty new. It was a few years ago. Very sad. Murad says, wait, what? You didn't know? Oh, that's rough. He had a battle with cancer. He was a young man, and he had a battle with cancer, and he lost. And it was colon cancer, which is a cancer that you can actually you have pretty good odds of beating it if you catch it very early. So it's one of those cancers where if you catch it super early, you're good. If you catch it too late, you're not good. It is hard to beat it if it gets to a certain stage. And to test for it, you have to have a doctor stick a thing up your butt, and he has to use like a camera and look all over your intestines for it. So how many people are signing up for that, you know? So you're supposed to start screening for that at like the age of 40 or something. So I don't know. I might do it. I mean, I sit on my butt all day. I'm not in perfect health, and I love processed food. So they say it's the processed food that's causing it. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. They're saying young people get it. Young people get colon cancer at much higher rates. It's like, wait, it's really high actually, isn't it? Not to scare anybody. Don't have a health crisis here. Relax. But let's see. All right, what are the top 5 cancers in men? Prostate is number 1. Then lung. Prostate cancer is like men's version of breast cancer. Then lung cancer. And then number 3, colon cancer. It's the 3rd most common cancer. So it's a cancer of your intestines. And yeah, I guess your intestine wall can get like inflamed and messed up, and then a cancerous tumor forms. And I think one of the reasons why it's such a problem is you can't see it. Like many cancers, you don't see it and you don't notice it until it gets kind of advanced. So there's a warning for you guys to stay healthy, eat fiber, exercise, and get tested. Get tested. You know, what's sad is the insurance companies don't want to cover the cost of getting tested for that until you're older, because they consider it like an old person's disease. But younger people are getting it, like Chad Boswick actually. And it's probably from all the candy and super processed like donuts and ice creams and all this other stuff we're eating. You know, something in the food for sure that our grandparents didn't have. And even Gen X, I don't think they had it. So they're putting something in our food that's like preservatives, right? Definitely preservatives. There's a theory that cured meats have it because of studies they did in Europe. They found that cured meats, which use something called nitrites and nitrates to cure the meat, well, I think they learned that actually hurts your intestinal walls. So it's the equivalent of like smoking cigarettes, but for your intestines rather than your lungs. So you're not supposed to eat as much ham anymore. I love ham, so that's tough on me. Here's Mr. Jorge Gyron. He says, one other slab snip. And thank you for showing the slabs again. All right, good luck. I think he means a Poke Shuffle. Wow, I got a new Pokeball badge. It was a few years ago. Very sad. It's been a month already that I've been watching Mr. Time flies, man. Yeah, time flies. Here we are. You'd be surprised how fast it moves. 2, 3. And boop. We got 1 Sandile. So this is yours. I'll donate it if you don't want it. I'll donate it to the back of the box. Okay, very good. We have an order now from Zachary Standing. He says, Destined Rivals. Ooh, I love Destined Rivals. This could be the one with the Houndoom or the Mewtwo in it. It wasn't a Poke Shuffle. Whoa, 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 whoa. What did you want? He said one other slab. Oh, I misunderstood. I'm putting this back in. Okay, so that's corrected. Now, he means one of these. Good luck. Would you rather have a PSA 8 or a CGC 9? A CGC 9. Cetadile. All right, this time still a little bit cold. I'm sorry. Now we're moving on to Zachary Standing. By the way, if you're watching the show and you're a new guy, try placing your first time order. You can do that by heading over to the description of the live stream, where you'll find PayPal, ZELLE, VENMO, CASHAPP, or the website, and any of those methods will work for making a payment for some Pokemon cards. The website contains a menu that you can use to shop. The YouTube description also contains a menu, so you can use either. You don't have to choose one or the other. You You can use either. Whatever you find more easy. All right, Zach with the Z. This time, Zach, just some hollows. There we are. Look at that. I'm going to buy a Versus Tyranitar hollow, and I have the option to get a PSA 8 or CGC 9. Here we are. CGC a little more expensive. There we go. Oh, I see. You're shopping for one. I see. That's cool, man. Versus Tyranitar. You know, I used to have one of those, and I got rid of it over time. The Versus collection back in the day didn't perform very well. Here's Professor Burnett. Is it Burnett? She's going in, even though she's a waifu. She could go in the waifu shuffle like in 2 seconds. Yeah, I almost feel like this is better off in the waifu shuffle. Like, do people still want trainer cards? I mean, I don't know. We're out of slabs. We got to put her in. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. 13 it is, yeah. Heavy Jungle Pack English or that Japanese one right there? It's the Japanese one, okay? It is a heavy pack, technically, but the thing is, they're all heavy, obviously. But some people don't know that still. And, but it's going to be a little expensive break. Go look up those Japanese packs. They're hella pricey now. They're really expensive. But here's your chance to get into one. And here we are. It's going to be nice. You could pull Snorlax. You could pull... You know, what I really ought to do is just show you guys why it's so expensive now. Because you might not understand what happened. You know, like, let's say that we did have a heavy jungle pack, right? English. Well, it's probably not going to grade 10 because the English ones never grade 10. Compare that to the Japanese ones that grade 10 a lot more easily. Like, I think Mr. CS Man opened a couple of them, and he got like 2 or 3 10s. So he's doing really well. But let's see. We're going to PSA 10, Jungle, Jungle, Snorlax, Japanese. Are you ready for this? It's probably like some ridiculous price. So, boop, 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 boop. There's a PSA 9. So the cheapest 10 of the Jungle Snorlax today is sitting at a whopping $4,200. Wow. So that's a part of the reason why the packs are so expensive. Back in the day when the packs cost nothing, yeah, the Jungle Snorlax was like $120 at one point. PSA 10. How about Flareon? Jungle Japanese. Okay, so the Jungle Flareon, he's going for, ready? So the Flareon, 2.8 thousand. Wow. And remember, this comes with a guaranteed hollow, so you're going to pull something. How about the Vaporeon? There you are, Vaporeon. I bet he's real pricey. So the cheapest Vaporeon, so he's one of the more expensive ones. So that's an old cert. And so here's one that looks a little bit better, 4.8 thousand. So he must be a little more popular. 4.8. Wow. That's like more than the Snorlax even. So there it is. So really high prices on those evolutions, hitting in the multi-thousands. And same with the Snorlax. Just some really good stuff in there. Now there's some undesirable cards in there too, right? Like I think there's a Venomoth. There's a Mr. Mime. There's an Electrode. I can't remember what else. Kangaskhan's probably not super crazy, but it's also probably a little more expensive. But yeah, so there's the big chase ones, and then there's some mid ones, and then there's some bad ones. I think Scyther's in there too, isn't he? I should have listened to you when you said the mid-era stamps were worth getting back in the day, and I didn't listen. Same with the Japanese Watsy Hollows. They're blown up. Yeah, it's all blowing up, really. Clefable, Electrode, Flareon, Jolteon, Kangaskhan, Mr. Mime, Nidoqueen, Pidgeot. Ooh, Pidgeot's in there. That's cool. Pinsir, Scyther. Nice. Snorlax, Vaporeon, Venomoth, Victreebel. Oh, yeah, Victreebel. Vileplume, and Wigglytuff. Yes. Jungle's such a good set. It's so fun. Some other really interesting things about the Jungle Pack isn't just the really expensive evolutions, but there is a particular common card. Common, that is, right? Pikachu. And Japanese Jungle Pikachu is probably selling for outrageous prices. So if we go to sold, I already know it's going to be outrageous. You ready? So, oh my God, is this accurate? This is even crazier than I thought. Wow. So from the Japanese Jungle set, the Pikachu just sold on July 23rd for $1,700 in auction and $1,400 in auction. That's a story worth telling right there, guys. So not only is the holographic card, like the Snorlax and the Evolutions, going for like $3,000 to $4,500, but the Pikachu by itself is selling consistently around $1,500, and he's just a common. That's why the pack's so expensive, because that Pikachu has a high chance of being in there. He gets pulled all the time. What else was in there? That Pikachu, there's Jigglypuff, there's Cubone. Let's see what the Cubone goes for. So Cubone last sold for, we want last sold. That's a big deal, by the way. So, you know, somebody has a chance to pull that Pikachu out of the comments. So here's some last sold on the Cubone from the same set. So again, we're 119 times 10. That's going to come out to like 1.2 thousand, right? Well, look at this. Jungle Cubone, $750 for one common. What? 500. Back in June, it was about 346. So I'm seeing a pattern where it's going up. 300, 500, 700. That's just Cubone. That is just Cubone, just one card. It's a big deal, you know? Let's see, how about Jigglypuff? Jungle was always more expensive than Fossil because Jungle had the Pikachu and some other good supporting cards. And because of those good commons, you were able to make your money back on the pack more easily. All right, here's some Jigglypuff from the same set. August 5th, Jigglypuff 10 sold for $300. Wow. It's just crazy. So, you know, you could jump in here. You could pull Cubone. You could pull Jigglypuff. You could pull Pikachu. Somebody probably will. At least one of those will show up. Sometimes all three show up. And there's some other nice commons. The thing is, if it's a good pack where the things inside are grading 10, you're set. You're minted. You don't even have to pull the holo. You just have to pull a decent common. And as long as it's a well-centered booster pack, which we won't know till we open it, but as long as it's well-centered, you probably have a fair chance at a 10 because it's a Japanese set. And, yeah, then there is a chance for Snorlax or Scyther or Pidgeot or any of the Evolutions. There's a pretty decent chance for those. Those are the better ones. You might pull one of the not-so-good ones, but I bet you even that sells for like 800, 900 in a 10, maybe 1,000. Yeah, it's a good set. That's why the booster pack costs unbelievable amounts now, because what you get out of the pack is you're getting what you paid for. So it's going to be really fun to open it. It's a fun opening. It's going to be sad if it's off center. That does happen. But if it's a well-centered pack, people are making money tonight. Or not tonight, but when it goes off, I should say. Next up, Joshua Rose. He says, going deep, 2 more CB Marvel. You got it. What's the price, 119? Yeah, $119 per spot. We do have a gym break running here for $60. Woof. That's for those who like to do a coin toss on $60. It's a lot. All right, let's take a look at these Marvel packs now. So we just ran out. Let me go grab a fresh box, and let me check to see if we need to restock them, which you probably do. Whoa, I didn't see it. I did not see it. That doesn't mean it's not necessarily here, but I did not see it. I found this. I'm a looking. could actually be in the room with us right now if I brought both boxes in. We might have sold. It might have sold. That could have been it. Sometimes I lose track of how much we have. I thought we had 2 boxes of it. This one and another one left. I could look one more time for it, okay? So I'm going to step out of the room, guys. I'm going to look one more time in the receiving area. It's a pretty small box, and I only have one of them. That's why it can be easy to miss it, okay? So let me go look again. I'll be right back. All right, I still didn't find it. I don't know. I'm highly suspicious that there is another box, but I cannot find it. So for now, I'm going to have to call it out, sold out. Grab some more drink there. Just check down here real fast. Yeah, what about in here? Yeah, it's looking sold out to me. Is there another box in here, maybe? Maybe that's the trick. Maybe the second box is already in here. Aha! Da-da-da! All right, figured it out. It was a second box that was already opened. Didn't expect that. All right, cool. Well, so our next step, it was already in the room and it was already opened. I did not anticipate that. So our next step is to come over here and buy some more of it, probably. Would you buy Super State Sonic Magic, The Gathering? PSA 9, or would you get a 10? Oh, in general, I try to buy 10s, you know. If I really want a card, I usually get a 10. Whoa. What is this? All right. Well, so let me check and see if we don't already have some of this on the way. Oops. So I don't want to like double order it if we've already got it on the way, but I don't know if we do. Sorry, this order's taken a little while. Sometimes we manage our inventory in the middle of the stream. We got 2 packs of Magic. Looks like my last order of Magic was on July 30th. And it is, so the tracking will tell me if it already arrived. Ah, your package is on the way. Okay, so we're not ordering any more of these because we've already ordered them. That's exactly what I wanted to know. Good. Okay. Yeah, if I did a double order, we'd end up with too much of it. And then if, you know, people stopped buying it, I'd just be sitting on a bunch of inventory. There we go. That's all part of the game, is not making little mistakes like that. It's not a big mistake, but it's like you can't afford to double order everything. Knight of Wundagore. Wundagore. Agents of Hydra. Brave Brawler. Madame Hydra. Falcon, Winged Wonder, Spooderman, Webslinger, oops, Space Shift, Dark Ritual. Ooh, the Dark Ritual card might be good. Here's Invisible Woman. That's right, she's meant to be neither seen nor heard. Here's Rocket Power Goblin Glider, Medusa, Inhuman Queen, Electra, Daughter of the Hand, Path to Exile, Origins of the Avengers, and a little Thanos card. Cool. There you have pack number 1. I always go for 10s. They will go up in value significantly more. Well, 9s can perform well too. If you're going to buy a PSA 9, try to buy a PSA 9 of a card that's truly already rare. You know, like a card that just never going to be a lot of them. Like Gold Star Torchic 9. Here's Dark Ritual. Of course, it's too late for that already. Now you can barely afford a Gold Star Torchic 1. Ooh. Setting this to the side. Here's Call Damage Control. Hell's Kitchen. That's a funny title. Undercover Scroll. War Machine Legacy of Iron. Grim Reaper Lethal Legionnaire. Starling Aerial Ally. Quinjet Technician. Living Lightning Charged Up. Hulk Smash. Here's Island. The Astonishing Ant-Man, Director Nick Fury, Jennifer Walters, No Mercy, and the Kingpin of Crime. Look at these cool Dr. Doom cards, man. Okay. Here we are. Very nice. Good. Jennifer Walters. The Astonishing Ant-Man. He's so astonishing. I got the 9 of the Radiant Collection EV because I couldn't afford the 10 at the time, and I'm still very happy about it. Yeah. Sometimes a good PSA 9 feels good. Like I've got a Dark Dragonite from Rocket Returns, and he's a PSA 9, and I've had countless people ask to buy the PSA 9 off of me, and I've always said no, and it just performed really, really well for me. It went up a ton. And so even though I have the PSA 10, I got like 6 of the 10s, I'm still really happy with the 9, you know. I got some other cards like that too, where I own like some 5s or 6s, and they're just a card that I know is in super high demand, and so weirdly enough, even the 9s and 6s, or even the 5s and 6s go up. We're definitely reached a time period where people no longer consider the 10s. You look at the price of a 10, and it says something like $40,000, and you're like, well, I'm not buying that. Better get comfortable with the idea of a PSA 1 or something like that, you know what I mean? Like the one guy just came in here, and he'd say he's a PSA 1 collector, and it's a psychological thing, isn't it? It's sort of like, you know, instead of trying to enjoy the hobby at the highest level, we're intentionally getting comfortable with the idea of enjoying the lowest grade because you know that there's sort of like a price advantage. You get to own a whole bunch more of them. Of course, that's going to make the PSA 1s expensive, so you really ought to just collect any grade that is at the most advantageous price. Look at that. Ooh. So we got Charizard up to 25 now out of 36, and there's a gym break too. Ooh, baby. He's getting close, guys. Mister, will you flip the Jennifer Walters card? Sure. My bad. I could have done that earlier. Flip it on eBay. Okay, Jennifer Walters. Human Advisor Hero. The Sensational She-Hulk. All right. Very nice. Smart Woman by day, She-Hulk by night. There we go. I like the new Spider-Man. It felt somewhat rushed, but I like they started incorporating X-Men. There. I got an Umbreon Hollow Black-White promo in an 8. I like PSA 8 and PSA 9. Have you seen or intend to see the new Spider-Man? I saw the actors in it, and so I saw Zendaya, and I saw that the doofy guy who's playing the actual Spider-Man character, and I threw up in my mouth a little bit, and then said, nah, that's not for me. So I just can't stand the actors Hollywood is picking these days, and I probably will never watch it. If it makes you feel any better, I haven't watched any Spider-Man since the one dude, Tom, what was his name? McGuire or something like that? I can't remember the name of that guy. Luigi's going in. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. Zendaya's in Spider-Man 2. Oh my god, dude. We are. Is there anything I can watch that she's not in? All right. I'm not a big movie watcher. I really struggle with stories. I don't think it's autism, but it might be autism. Poker Luigi. We're going to say clubs. Oops. P10. No, but seriously, I get so bored so fast. I feel like Tom Holland looks pretty much how Spider-Man should look. This is Tom Holland's 4th Spider-Man movie. Tobey Maguire is the OG. Yeah, I don't know what it is. I can't stand looking at... What'd you call him again? Tom Holland. I can't stand looking at him. I can't stand it. He makes me feel insane. I see him and I get angry. I turn into the Hulk. All right. And then Zendaya is super annoying as well. I can't stand her either. I can't stand Timothy Chalamet either. Just makes my head spin. I'm like, what is going on? Where are the good actors? Where are the interesting actors? I don't know. They don't make movies for me. They make movies for other people. I'm not the target audience. Another Insidious? Ooh, Insidious could be fun. I don't like Zendaya, but she actually looked kind of cute in this movie. Oh my god. All right, let me grab this for Zachary Standing. Mr. Zach, another Destined Rivals. You got it. Another Destined Rivals. She's kind of growing on me. They were all during our time, mister. No more good actors or artists anymore. It feels that way. Doesn't it kind of feel that way? So weird. Human society already peaked. Yeah, now we're on the decline. It peaked in the 90s. All right, here goes. What we got? People were literally hotter and cooler back then. Here's Mabo Stiff. Very nice. Even before that, you know, like I was learning about Frank Sinatra because I was learning about Las Vegas. And he has so much riz. He has so much aura. What happened to that? Let's go this way. Everyone wears like sweatpants now and basketball shorts. I'm wearing basketball shorts. It's definitely a different time period now. I don't know. It's weird. But, you know, you expect a really high quality from, like, your movies. Here it is. Okay. When you see a celebrity, it's like you expect to see somebody with, like, celebrity worship. And I haven't experienced that in a while. I haven't seen an actor and gone like, oh, damn, dude. Holy schmolies. All right. There'll be no more Denzel Washington or Brad Putts. Hey. Yeah, I don't know, man. It's like, it feels like we're in a new, like, Justin Bieber era. But even Justin Bieber's all grown up. It's like, it's whatever's after him. Here's Roki Hyun for live custies. You got it, Roki Hyun. Good luck. Do you mean most kids and young adults want to be like Tom Holland? I don't know. Frank made sure his friends and other artists that happened to be black got to play shows. If they weren't allowed on stage, Frank wouldn't get on stage. He made waves. That's pretty cool. Very progressive for that time. We are. That was, what was that, like the mid-60s or something? I don't know what time that would have been. But, you know, yeah. I feel like, I don't know. I feel like I'm all bored of it now or something. None of it's interesting. It all looks really boring and lame. 1, 2, 3, 4. There we go. Ready? We got Jang Mo-O or something. His pre-evolution. Horsey. Oh, come on. 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 Oh, you're on to the last pack. Come on. No. Oh, man. That's 4 cold ones coming out of the live customs. I'll toss you a bonus card, and we'll get you in the second chance bag, okay? Here's a fun fact. I think you're the first one in. Let's see. Second chance. Looks like I might as well create a new second chance bag. Look at this bag of bags. as always, says Musabot. Musabot! All right, let's go ahead and grab a fresh bag. Let's do that. Musabot, you're not unlucky. You just you gave too much money away. Look, you got to buy $300 of live customs. Let's go ahead and flip this over. No, you're very generous, though. It scares me a little bit. You know that? It scares me when someone's very generous because it makes me think they'll miss out on a hit that they would have had. You know, I pay attention to those things. You know, I've done this a very long time, right? And from my experience as the host, from my experience, it is a very good thing to see somebody get some big hits every now and then, you know? So we're just going to have to give you a big hit. Here's the second chance bag. Da-da-da. And you definitely get to go in there. I think you're the first one in. I share the joy. It's a good community. Oh, that's nice, man. Well, that's one of the things that makes it so nice. All right, let's go ahead and grab this. Okay. Very nice. Good. Oops. Wait, I put it on the wrong side of the bag. Oh my God, I must be dumb, dude. Look at this. I put it on the wrong side of the bag. Oh my God. Still better than getting clapped on mystery packs. Those mystery packs must have been crazy expensive. Here we are. So we're going to say second chance. Somebody's got to get clapped. That's the only way somebody else gets lucky if you think about the way the math works. For one person to get lucky, someone else has to get clapped. Is the rule of clapping. Do you ever just pick up your software engineering capabilities and do some coding for fun? No, not at all, actually. The last time I did any kind of code, honestly, it was mostly in school. Because when I graduated, my first job was helping transfer a database to another database. It was like this old 1990s banking database, and it was being put into a brand new one with good security. But my job was really easy. See, I was doing my very first contract job with the company called Tech Systems, and for the most part, it wasn't really coding. I was mostly just like operating the software, and I was mostly doing data entry. There was an enormous amount of data entry to figure out. And some of the data entry could be like automated, but with banking, there's actually a lot of complicated terms that are banking related, and quite a bit of it can't be automated. So they had to manually move people over from one database to the other. And so they hired a group of basically interns to do that work, and I was one of them. So that was my first technical job out of college, and I was still in college. I was a senior when I got the job. It saved us financially, really. And then when I graduated, that job ended. It was a contract job, and Tech Systems is a contract company, so they get contract after contract after contract from big companies. And they retain talent who they then send out to do the contract. So they said, you did a great job on the first contract. The next time we're going to give you a coding job, right? They're going to give you a job that's the real stuff. And so I was like, good. But while I was waiting for the next contract, which came pretty soon, my YouTube channel started blowing up. And I told them, as crazy as it was, because I just graduated, I told them, you know what? Let's hold off. I'm not going to do the second job yet, because my YouTube channel is blowing up. And they're like, are you sure? They're like, are you serious? Are you sure? And I was like, yeah, I'm going to hold off and see where this all goes. That was the TheCardconomist YouTube channel, and that channel went on to become an $80,000 a year job. And it was just super, super cool. I mean, it's kind of neat being a successful YouTuber. So I was enjoying it. And the money wasn't even bad. So I was getting paid pretty good. It was probably paying at least as much as I would have been paid, maybe more than what I would have been paid doing a software engineer job in Missouri. Remember, I'm from Missouri, so coding jobs don't pay as much out here. I'm not on the West Coast or anything. So that was making $80K, and eventually they stopped asking me to come into work. They didn't ask me to do any more contracts, and I told them each time they called, I'm like, I don't know, my YouTube channel's blowing up. So I just kept telling them that, and then one day I was a full-time YouTuber and not working with Tech Systems. All right, Mistress, the absolute best ever. What? I feel like that's a trick. If you give me too much praise, I don't believe it myself. Like, give it a month. All right, let's see. Mister, it's about time for child support. Yeah, that's right. Yeah, man, having a kid with Karis has been difficult because she has an issue with getting pregnant. So that has been actually a pretty tough spot. Let's see, Mr. Zach. She's still in the middle of it right now, and it's really stressful. Let's see, Mr. Zach. Let's see, because I'm getting older and I have no kids. Let's see. Oh, Zachary's standing. Okay. Will you still selling any precious metal? Yeah, I could sell you a silver coin if you're interested. We have, let's see. So we just sold one on eBay for $395. One of these. And you can see I have more of them. So this is one that's definitely for sale for $395. And I have proof of it right here. Let's see. Let's see. It's a very tough subject, but you know, if Karis definitely could not have children, like if she's just unable to have children, I wonder, do I need to go out and remarry? I mean, that's a real, again, it's a really sensitive and tough conversation, but it's concerning for me. Look at this, $395 that sold on August 5th. It's the reason it's so tough is because it's not like a big flaw that she chose to do or anything. It's just one of those really difficult realities. The completer coin. Anyways, it's not at that point yet. And actually, if we had enough money, we could probably hire a surrogate. Which isn't, I guess that's not very ideal, but you know, maybe we try surrogacy next. It's very stressful, actually. It's a lot more stressful as the time goes by. Here we are. Ready? Surrogate, yeah. Yeah, but it's sad though, you know, because a surrogate costs like $250,000. And it's like, Jesus, dude. Like, what if I want 3 children? I have to spend $1 million on 3 kids or something? Man, that's really tough. Here it goes. All right, Zachary versus Roki-hyun. Good luck. You don't happen to sell that coin from Live Custom? No, that one's not in the live. Oh, you're asking if you can directly buy the Live Custom coin. That's what you're asking. Ooh, that's a good question. Maybe. I mean, I think I could probably swap the other coin in its place. So maybe. What would you rather leave her? Isn't she worth $1 million if it was? Let me think about it for a second. What would you rather leave her? Isn't she worth $1 million? I guess in theory, we are. Yeah, it's a tricky thing. We are. All right, you ready? Karis might become the world's best Pokemon card collector by splitting my collection in half if we divorce. Here's Zamazenta, and here's Electivire. Round 1, Zachary. Wouldn't that be, man, that'd be a strange story. Here's Articuno, and here's Energy. Boom. Double Energy. Boom. All right, this time, sorry, Mr. Roki-hyun, it's going to go to our friend Zachary Standing. Life's tough, man. Yeah, life's crazy tough. All right. I'll buy, if you sell to me right now. Okay. I think we could possibly do that. I could sell you that coin directly, and we could replace it with the completer coin. So the completer coin would just take its place. So you're breaking even there. You're back to breaking even. And Zachary Standing, you're also breaking even. How nice is that, Zach? I get that you feel like time is fleeting, but that's kind of a harsh statement. I would hope you would try other options. It is a harsh statement because if you didn't know this about me, I'm a terribly harsh person, and I always have been. It is. I grew up in a harsh family. I had a harsh mother. I had a harsh father, and I'm pretty harsh. It is. And almost my entire adult life has been harsh. There's never been a point where it's like, oh, I'm floating on air. Life's a cakewalk. No, the whole thing has been struggle from beginning to end. We are. And it's all very kind of cutthroat, actually. Maybe that's part of who I am. I don't know. It sort of makes... I don't know. You ever heard of persons who grew up in adversity? Well, you become an adverse kind of person, I guess. I don't know. It's just hard to say. But babies got to get made. They've got to. It's just got to happen. You don't have to let your surroundings dictate who you become, though. Yeah, you say that, but you do kind of let it happen that way, because it's like, if, you know, why did fish develop fins? Well, to swim in the water. A little bit. But it's a tough situation. Here we are. Yeah, it's a tough situation. I don't like it. It's not making me comfortable at all. Let's see. It's important that we have kids to me. And that's not an unusual statement. The expensive pack split. Where is it? Oh, here it is. Can definitely speak from experience. Let's see. I understand it's been a struggle. But hasn't she been your rock? No, I've been her rock, the other way around. So I'm the much tougher person than she is. And no, I wouldn't describe her as my rock at all. I'm the tougher one. So she's very nice. She's very nice. I'm very, very crazy. I'm a very tough person. And whenever I date a girl, I sort of drag her along with me. That's sort of how it goes. So, yeah, it's not like, oh, man, if I couldn't have done anything, I couldn't have done any of this without her. It's not like that. It is. No, I wouldn't say that. I'm very nice speaking, too. I always say a lot of nice things about whoever I'm with. But, you know, so I don't like to be disrespectful or anything like that. I would not describe her as my rock. Here's Zachary standing. Jungle Pack battle is over. It goes to Zach. Let's see. She's my wife. Here's Javier Arroyo. 2 live customs and the Zard gym break. You got it. Wow. But there has to be something that has made you stay. Well, yeah, I would say the number one thing that keeps me with a girl is I'm anticipating having kids with her. That's probably the number one thing. And, you know, so that's the number one thing I'd say. So it's very important. Here's 2 live customs. Yeah, it's pretty important she has kids, I'd say. Hopefully the IVF is going to work. All right, ready? It's just, like I said, it's a little bit stressful. Just see how it goes. I'm getting older. I'm almost 40, you know. I don't want to be like 50 when I have kids. We were supposed to have kids about 3 years ago at the very least. And now it's 3 years later. We don't have one, so it's becoming an issue. It is. Ooh. We should have reacted sooner when it didn't work right away. We should have reacted sooner and gone to the IVF clinic straight away. But then again, you just kind of go, oh, well, maybe it's just bad timing or something, you know what I mean? All right, so that's 2 live customs, and it's cold. No, it's pretty important, actually. All right, Javier Arroyo. Let's see. Let's grab this. We need TRG and Javier. The Charizard's going off. But why did you marry her? I guess for the same reason everyone marries someone. You just kind of think this would be a good person to have kids with. Although I don't even know if people do it that way anymore. I feel like sometimes now people, well, I think a lot of people just don't get married. Yeah, I think people aren't getting married at all nowadays. But, you know, yeah, there's a level of attraction. You say, okay, this is the one that we're going to do it with. That's like depression level times. I might be harsh when I say this, but I can't imagine how stressful it must be for her. Oh, yeah, it's stressful for her. Yeah, I'm not unfamiliar with that. Yeah, I'm here. I see it. She's stressed out over it too. We are. She's not perfect, man. Let's see. Yeah, she's not like this. What am I trying to say? Like, she would be all right. You know what I mean? Like, if she and I broke up, she's not the end of her world, is what I'm trying to say. We are. Read my message, and I understand your trust me. I got 3 kids, and those are one of the best decisions ever made. Yeah, you got to have kids, in my opinion. You have to have them. It's sort of the biological imperative, right? Like, so I have a bunch of kids cards. Who cares? So, you know, at some point, you have to have kids at some point. What else is there? That, or you just sort of do life where it's just sort of like raw dopamine, I guess. That's the only other. So it's either hedonism or family. One or the other. Hedonism or family. And, you know, I'm not going to hate on people doing strictly hedonism. Maybe all of it's pointless, right? We talk about this sometimes. We get very stinky and philosophical about it. Like, okay, well, the sun explodes, so who cares, you know? But, you know, so I try not to think too hard about all that and say, oh, well, I want to head towards kids, so let's have kids, right? Like, I don't want to bet on negativity, right? I don't want to bet on the negativity, the whole universe going cold and all that. I'm going to bet on let's have children. So here's Fui Coco, and here's the bug, 80 and 70. Round 1, TRG. I'm a guy from Israel. Hey, what's up, man? I saw your video about leaving Missouri. I hope everything works out for you. Yes, I'm leaving Missouri because I'm that kind of person that will become vicious and fix things if they're not fixed on their own. Here's basic energy and computer search. Oh, wait. We don't want to choose computer search's card yet because we don't know what his card is. Oh, this is such a strange scenario. So, okay, so I say the computer search isn't used until after this is pulled. Here it is. So it's Rapidash, and now we can computer search. Technically, the computer search, we can just go pull Skeledirge, but, you know, let's not affect the top of the deck. All right. So Javier's winning round 2. So it's tied. All right. They're tied. Ooh. Who's getting round 3? Energy. Gyarados. And... aha! It would be a tie, except Team Rocket Grunt got an energy. So it's 200 versus 180. Round number 3 goes to Team Rocket Grunt. Sorry about that, Mr. Javier. Peace out, mister. Have a good one. Have a nice night, Mr. Moondwarf. Wasn't it her that wanted kids and that's why y'all started trying? No, I was the one who wanted kids. And, you know, so I wanted her to start trying for kids at like as early as 25 years old. She's now 31. So it's been 6 years since then and I have 0 kids and I'm 37. So that's becoming an issue. Here it is. All right. There we go. All right. Very nice. She kind of wants them too. I would say I want them more than she does. There you go. Somebody has to inherit the Cardconomist card collection so they can be like a snooty rich kid or something, or whatever, kid born with a spoon, or whatever the terms are. Wow. Team Rocket Grunt. I don't know if you've noticed this, Mr. Team Rocket Grunt, but you're like 4-1 in the gym breaks. Holy cow, dude. Finally, a lady that wants 10 kids. No disrespect. If you're trying to give kid advice to Broski, at least have kids so your opinion's on more gravity. Let's see. No negative Nancy's. Kansas is better. New Kansas City Chiefs stadiums. Oh, yeah. Missouri flopped that hard, dude. The Missouri State is losing the Chiefs, everybody, if you didn't know that. So they're losing the Chiefs, too. And you know why they're losing them is because Missourians voted against building a new Chiefs stadium. And that was a stupid move. They lost the Chiefs. It's going to the state of Kansas now. Kansas is going to build a new stadium, and they're going to take the Chiefs. So the Missourians must have very negatively bet against the Chiefs doing well. I mean, because if you believe the Chiefs are going to continue doing very well, well, then you would build the stadium because it's a worthwhile investment. So they bet against that, actually. Well, no, wait a second. This is for the Charizard. So Missouri voted no on becoming a no-tax state. Crazy to me. That's absolutely nuts. And then it voted no to build a stadium for the Chiefs. So the Chiefs are leaving Missouri for Kansas. So Missouri lost the Chiefs as well. Just a dumb state, dude. I'm out of here for sure. And I am a negative Nancy. So 26 out of 36. 10 spots remain on the Charizard. Wow. The fans weren't loyal. Yeah, I mean, maybe the fans correctly felt that the Chiefs are rich and they should just build the stadium. All right, well, the Chiefs get to leave too, you know? So that's the same idea as, oh, well, the rich should pay their share. We don't give them free taxes in Missouri. Well, the rich are out of here. They're going to Tennessee, bro. They're going to Nevada. They're going to Texas. They're going to Florida. How do those states do it? How do they manage to lower the taxes? You can't do it. Only they can do it. Is life terrible in Tennessee? It looked exactly the same to me. So, you know, so that's just how it is. Maybe Missourians are afraid of success. I don't know what it is. Maybe they don't believe that the Chiefs would leave. There's the wake-up call. Yes, they will. Maybe they don't think people with $1 million card collection will leave. I'm out of here. I'm so out of here. Let's go to Nevada and have no taxes on our cards. It makes so much more sense. Let's see. The Chicago Bears are moving to Indiana for the same reason. Tax-free stadium that the fans pay for, then pay again to go to a game. blank them. I know it sounds dumb, but it's like, if you got a good team, you're going to lose them. That's how it is. And they know that's how it works. So, you know, it's just part of the game. If you don't believe it works that way, just watch the team walk away, you know, just watch them leave. So it's like, it's tough to face reality, but eventually you do. It's tough to face the reality of it. All right, let's see. I would be fine with Missouri building a stadium for the Chiefs if it meant a total increase in economic growth. I love it when they build stuff. Out here in Lake of the Ozarks, I wanted 2 casinos. Right now, one casino's completely failed and the other one's delayed. So just another reason to leave. Like, damn, dude, let's build some stuff. Everyone's so against, you know, growth and investment. I don't know why, man. All right, next up, we got Rookie Hune, 1 Charizard sublist, 1 Jungle sublist, and let me know the price on that coin. Let's go grab the coin. Give me a second. I got into the C2 skins market a few months ago. I got out before the crash. I'm looking to get some new Pokemon cards now. Pokestonks. Nice, man. You got out before the crash, huh? I think CS-Man got hit with that crash a little bit. I don't remember, actually. We are. The Arizona Stadium hosts card shows. Arizona's cool, too. What I learned about my trip to Las Vegas is I do enjoy places that have low humidity. Dry air is pretty good, guys. It's a lot better than you think it is. All right, so it looks like we're going to sell this coin to you for $400 if you're interested, okay? And then it would be replaced by this coin, could be replaced by the Nutcracker. That'd be interesting. Here's the Nutcracker. I think I'm going to wait for Christmas on that one because I think the price goes up around Christmas. All right, here it is. Gets replaced by the Queen's Beasts Completer coin. Yeah, I mean, the taxpayers get all stingy about building some big, beautiful stadium that's going to be a huge economic benefit. People are going to, you know, travel to your state and watch the shows in your stadium. They get all stingy about it, and then the next thing you know, you've lost your star team. It's going to another state. And it's like, oops, turned out that one was an investment. It is. Having a good sports team, a famous one, and a stadium, that's an investment, it turns out. Imagine how many Missourians did want to have that stadium, and now they're going to miss it. Oh, man, that must be devastating. The serious conversation of whether to have children in relationships needs to be had very early on. Yeah, Karis and I were expecting to have children, and she ended up having a medical problem that is stopping her from having children. And now we're both getting quite old, and there's still no children. So this is becoming a big stressful problem for us. All right. I love the coin with the golden insert. Oh, like with the shield, right? Look at this. Pretty neat. Now, if I recall, that is just a tiny amount of gold. It's a golden inlay of like a lion. You want to see? Dang. How did they do that even? Pretty impressive. All right. I also managed to get into government housing. I'm investing the would-be rent money into... Oh, cool. So you're saying you bought like an investment unit, or I mean a housing unit that somebody is renting using like a government stipend or something. Is that what you're saying? That's interesting. I've heard people say you should do that. Let's see. Whoa, that's cool. Yeah, it's always been cool. Just more and more and more sleeves. Do you think you'll have a hard time finding a new wife, or do you think it will be easy? Do you think you'll have to change your physical appearance? Yeah, I mean, if I'm not sitting around eating Pop-Tarts with Karis all day, watching TV, Netflix, I'll probably have a lot more time to work out if I was single again. So, you know, I'd probably work on my appearance, but I don't know if that would be a terribly large hindrance. Maybe it would be. But I'm not anticipating breaking up with her. It's just, it's stressful. That's all I'm saying. It is stressful. It's not impossible to break up one day, you know. If we ever broke up, if we ever did have a divorce, she'd probably take half my card. You know that? So half those gold stars belong to her now. So it's pretty insane when you think about it, because she didn't work every single day like I did. She didn't work 7 days a week, no vacations. That was me. And so I worked much harder than her and had a much larger amount of success. She didn't give me any kids, and then the idea that it splits and she gets half of it, it's kind of frustrating. It's like, wait a second, why does it work that way? That doesn't make sense. So, but suppose she definitely 100% cannot have children. I think it would be very unfortunate, and I think I will have regretted the marriage, not because she's a bad person, but just because having kids was like a requirement for the marriage. That was the only reason to get married. Like, if I wasn't going to have kids with her, I would have never married her. So it's very important that we have kids. And spending $1 million trying to surrogacy like 3 kids into existence, it's harder than you think it is, because you have to start shelling out money just to try for the surrogacy, and the surrogate can have miscarriages and stuff like that, so it becomes very tricky. And I just don't have $250,000 laying around all the time, so you really are talking about me liquidating the collection to have a surrogate. And it's so unfortunate, because it's like, I wanted to move, I wanted to get a house, and I could go undo all this work we've done because we need a surrogate and all that. And it's just, man, it's stressful. It is stressful, yeah. But, maybe she would just get pregnant in like a month or 2. We'll see what happens. I don't know. We'll see what happens. Should have done a prenup. Yeah. That would be my advice to young men today. Always do a prenup. Prenups should be required by the government, by the way. It shouldn't be like this extra thing with the lawyer. It should just be by default a prenup. But really, the divorce laws should change immediately. I think that divorce is obviously very common. And so marriage should include, an understanding that there's a very high, maybe higher than 50% chance of divorce. And you shouldn't just get vultured by divorce lawyers and poorly written rules. The rules should be built on who contributed what, and not just, okay, you got married, you worked your ass off, and now this other person owns half your stuff. It's just bad rules. I mean, in China, they just changed their laws on divorce over there. All right. This can probably sound very one-sided, so take it with a grain of salt. But if you're thinking about the amount of money versus divorcing your wife, I don't think that's a strong marriage. Well, it's a subject to think about. Yeah, it's a subject to think about. If you thought about a scenario where you broke up, you'd be like, what would that actually be like? And we've talked about the subject of divorce before, because people do go through divorces. And so so let's take care of Roki Hyun here. We're just sitting here doing all this talking here. But so, we've talked about this before, and it's just part of life. I do a lot of thinking. I think about stuff all day long. I do a ton of thinking, especially financial planning. And so, yeah, it's crossed my mind, in the event that we broke up, what would that look like? And it looks pretty bad for me. It looks great for her. Yeah, I was the right guy to marry, apparently. You are. There we go. And let's grab this. There we go. You can call me mean if you want. I don't care. I probably am a little bit mean, but I'm smart. It's just how it is. I do my math. I do the analysis. This is going to say Roki Hyun. There you go. I see 30, 40 people a day. Many of them have been through divorce. Yep. Having the conversation early on is important. That wasn't a criticism. I know you guys have had... No. We did talk about it. I let her know before we got married many times that I was expecting children. She knew. Yeah. She didn't think anything weird of it. It was pretty normal. She knew. All right, let's see. So now we have Roki Hyun. He is purchasing the coin. Whoa. All right. The coin is yours. Where did I just put it? Oh, it's right here. All right. Congratulations. This coin is property of Mr. Roki Hyun. I sent payment for the coin. Some of them 2 times. Yeah. Yeah. Sometimes people stay together just because they can't afford to divorce. So, what's ironic about divorce is the number's already pretty bad. It's like 50%, right? Well, how many people are together because of they are not able to afford the divorce because it's too messy? It's too difficult. Like, they don't know where they'll live or something like that, so they just kind of put up with their partner. There we go. So the real number of people who would like out of their marriage is likely higher than 50. And I don't know how you correct something like that. I would really like Karis to have a kid, though. That's what I can say. I'd really like that. So that will help a lot. There we go. And the pressure's on. Wow. So we've gone ahead and replaced the Mars Aries coin with a completer coin, which is about the same price. We saw it sell for $400 on eBay. In fact, I was the seller. Can I ask, was there not an ounce of happiness the day you got married looking at your wife? This is such a great question. I'm not exactly a happy kind of person. Like, I can, oh, my Mudkip is worth $250,000, and you feel a little buzz of dopamine, and you could rank the dopamine buzz at like a 1 or a 2, whereas my unhappiness level stays at a pretty good static 10. So everyone's a little bit different, right? People have different personalities. I don't experience life that way. Like, I don't get ecstatic or anything. You know, it's like the movies. I'm watching the movie and I'm cranky. I'm not enjoying it, and I'm analyzing the movie and I know how it ends, and I go, it can only end in these two ways. And I can't stand the characters and I hate the way they look. And so I'm supposed to be enjoying this roller coaster ride on the screen, but I can't stand it, actually. So, you know, your question was I happy on the marriage? It was like a little check I marked off. Okay, this is done. And that makes me a great manager. I don't know if it makes me very personable, but, you know, I can handle your cards extremely well, but I'm not going to, like, hug you. You know what I mean? So there's all kinds of different people in this world, and I'm just a kind of person where I don't think I experienced that. I don't think I experienced the same. I don't experience like joy or whatever it is. Like, I don't cry tears of happiness. You know what I mean? So I don't experience that way. And when I married her, it was a good thing. But for me, it was like a job almost, a thing I was completing. So I completed school, I completed marriage. We have to complete having children, and then the children have to become successful, or else I'm not going to like them. So that's the next step, is that, you know, by the time I have children, you know, they better have sharp little teeth, and they better start working really hard, or I'm going to get very angry at them. So that's the next step after having children. So they better do very well. And so they're going to be pressured like crazy to do well. And I can guarantee you that's how it's going to play out. It's going to play out exactly like that. All the children will be pressured like crazy to work very hard. And so they have to get good grades in school, and they have to start a business, or they have to become a doctor, or they have, you know, so they have to do something valuable and important for society. And that's it. And I have a good brain for that, and not a lot of anything else. No hugs, but plenty of smooches. Mr. is either German or acoustic. I am part German. Apparently, according to the DNA test, I have some German. But it's like, I don't know. It's just a rough feeling. It's not a great feeling. But it's a feeling like things need to be right. It's so weird. I have a very strong feeling like things need to be the way they're supposed to be. So that feeling pushes me all the time. That feeling, things need to be the way they're supposed to be. That feeling is what keeps me moving all the time. And I'm very good at like gaming, basically. So if I play a video game, I usually figure it out pretty fast, and I do well. And, you know, operating this little store is kind of like a little game, and the rest of life's just like a little game for me, and that's about it. And I don't know. I just run on that feeling really strongly. It's the fumes that keep me going, you know. Yeah, let's see. My brother's been a doctor for 10 years, massive stress. He finally had a kid at 42. He is happy. Damn, dude. So, okay, well, that's good. I mean, that sounds like, you know, for me, I still have time, right? He was 42. I'm 37, so he had a kid 5 years later. So I was hoping to have at least 3 kids. But I'll be honest with you guys. If I had like 10 kids, that would be fine as well. My dad had 11 kids. If we had 10 kids, that would be a good thing, not a bad thing. And you're supposed to do that. You're supposed to have, you know, as many kids as you're going to have. And for me, it looks like I'm trapped almost. Like I'm trapped in having maybe 1, maybe 2 kids. And that's just not a good feeling. I don't like that at all. And it's because of a medical issue. And I can't solve it. It's like I can solve most things in life with just hard work. And here's one that I can't easily solve. But maybe surrogacy, I don't know. But it's like $250,000. So it's like, how do you just come up with $250,000, you know? I'm heading out, got to get that bread. Nice, man, go get that bread. I fear for them a little bit. Yeah, you should. Yeah, you ever hear like those tiger moms or whatever? I'm a full-on tiger mom. I can already feel it. 100% tiger mom. So, you know, they're going to be learning an instrument or whatever it is, whatever it is they do to their poor Asian children. There should probably be a term for that for like dads or something. Maybe there is a term. I don't know. Here's Gundam. Here's Jake. Here's Bulbasaur. It's all about putting aside what feels good, putting aside like your laziness, your natural resistance against pain, putting aside the laziness, putting aside what feels good, put aside the playtime, and accomplishing something. And that's the best feeling in the world. It is. The accomplishment, it takes a long time, it does, but the accomplishment feels so good later. The payoff is so much higher than, you know, laying around in a beanbag and watching Netflix or playing video games for the rest of your life. But so that accomplishment is everything. And so if I had kids, that's what they're going to be learning pretty fast is like, you know, you can have downtime, but it's all about the accomplishment. Nothing else really matters. And, you know, there's like hugs and crying and feelings and all that stuff. And you know, that's all human, I suppose. But it's like, none of that stuff matters to the rest of the world. It matters to you in your head and in your little inner world. But it's like the world doesn't care if you cry, you're sad, or you're, oh, this hurt me or something like that. The world doesn't care about that. The world cares about your accomplishments and your contributions. And so it's like, so you try to get through all the human side of things so that you can go perform, you know, you have to go do something. And that could be helping people, that could be building something, it could be building something for yourself, whatever it is. But yeah, so it's, you know, I'm very locked into that kind of mindset where it's like, I want to go do stuff. And I will hope that my kids are the same way. I think one of my biggest fears about having kids, and I'm not exaggerating, I have a very large fear that I have a lazy kid. That'll drive me insane if I have a lazy kid. I don't know what I'll do. I don't know what I'll do. If I have a kid and that kid is too lazy, there is an extremely high chance that I'm going to demand to have another kid. Here's Donphin, and here is Frodo. Yeah, I'll go nuts. It will probably drive me just about crazy. So that is one of my worst nightmares, a lazy child. Speaking of Gundam, didn't you order the new set? It got delayed, so I received an email saying that the shipment is delayed, and so hopefully it finishes soon. But like I've accomplished a lot of things, it doesn't make me need to push it on to others. I'd rather succeed and let others that I love rest. Yeah, I mean, we're all different, but I would not say I'm that way. So for me personally, you're either in the team or you're out of the team. If you're in the team, you accomplish stuff. If you want to be outside of the team, you can go bum off and do anything you want. So, you know, it's sort of like an in-group versus an out-group situation, right? So for me to be impressed, the kid has to accomplish something. They just absolutely have to. Doctor, lawyer, engineer, college degree, difficult college degree, not one of the goofy, easy ones that don't mean anything. Difficult college degree, good job, or start a business. Or ultimately, what I would really like to see, because I think it's too late for me, I would love to see a kid who gets into either acting or politics, one of the most important roles in society. So I think a kid that gets into becoming a CEO, politician, or actor is probably the most important outcome. I don't know if they would be capable of doing that because I think all those are really tough. And I think a lot about whether the, you know, like genetic chemistry will be correct for the kid as well. So it's like, do Karis and I have the genetics required to create a kid like that? So that's another thing that I think an awful lot about. And, you know, if I'm not working on that, then I'm just sort of wasting my time. You know what I mean? And I am getting older, so I don't know. I've thought about freezing sperm too. I don't know why, but it's like, if I ever got like cancer or something like that, I'd be worried about alterations to the sperm or not being fertile anymore as a result of the chemotherapy. So I've thought about freezing sperm as well to have more time for something like that. And then as for the work I do today, I just plan on working until I'm dead. No retirement and just all the way work, 100%. and build a family trust, and the kids need to be successful, and then they need to understand that their job is to do what I did, so that it's just sort of like an unbroken chain of work. You know what I mean? Why care about your wife's genetics if you can pay to make the perfect child? Well, I don't know. Well, I didn't just say my wife. I was saying me too. So, sometimes I wonder, like, maybe I'm the problem. So if you produced a child and the child was not very successful, maybe I haven't handed down good enough genes. And it's a interesting concept, but it's something I think a lot about, almost obsessively. Came for pack opening instead, I'm getting trauma dumped on. I found the gold Sonic card from Magic the Gathering with CGC 10 for about $100, but the PSA is going for $300. Go for the PSA one, Mr. Jorge. I really hope you can never have any kids. Thinking this way is why kids grow up to hate their parents. Yeah, I mean, you might be right. I don't think people love to have a lot of pressure on them, but there's also probably some children that go on to actually become very successful. And I bet you though you don't hear those children complain about it as much. So the children that struggle to meet their parents' expectation, those are the ones who you hear about their terrible parents. And then the ones who do meet their parents' expectations, you never hear them complain. So you don't know that they exist. So I'm hoping to experience that, and I don't know if I will, but I'm it's very concerning for me. Let's see, you definitely are the problem. It's so funny, man. Then get the one you want or both. Yeah, basically I have high expectations, and people don't like high expectations. It's, you can feel however you want about it, but ultimately it's like, you can't stop me from having high expectations in the end. That's how it is. And that's why all around you, there's these big organizations and giant inventions and, large buildings, architecture-wise. All those things came from people with large expectations. And they didn't come from people who were sort of like, oh, let's, dye our hair blue and complain about how everyone wants us to work 40 hours. So it's like if you meet somebody with high expectations, they're definitely not as fun, but it's like you need them to do important tasks for society, I think. And all I do is some YouTube and Pokemon cards, right? But, I'm doing like 60 hours a week. I worked today from 2 p.m. to just about, I want to say about 11 p.m. nonstop. I didn't stop for dinner. And that was all like card grading and submissions. And so that's how this show occurs. The show doesn't happen by accident. But I do that by myself. Maybe I should hire somebody to do it, but I don't know. I don't think now would be a good time to hire anybody because we might move. But whatever the case is, there's just people in society who have high expectations, and to them it's not acceptable if the work doesn't get done. And that's why your plane arrives on time and your train gets built and the roads are constructed and clean and the laws get written. It doesn't get written by people who are just like, oh, it doesn't matter. Oh, I don't care. Oh, let it slide. Oh, let them cry or something like that. It doesn't get built by those people. So while you're over here judging, you're like enjoying the inventions of the craziest people, like the Steve Jobs guy from Apple. That guy wasn't nice. He was kind of crazy, but he got a lot accomplished. And now you get to enjoy, the nice Apple products. So it's just how it is, there maybe it's type A, type B personality. Maybe some people have a stick up their butt. Do you want to have a society where everyone's like, yo, man, pass the weed, man? What kind of society would that? You'd be in like a tent right now. In theory, maybe not. I'm holding my tongue on this. I clocked out early on Friday. Good on you, Timmy. If I hadn't watched Mystery before, I would be blowing my brains out. Speaking of which, it is 5:36, so I think it's a good time to wrap up. But, yeah, it's like just how it is, man. He's stuck in his thinking, Tammy. Yes, that's right. Well, you guys can't tell me not to have high expectations. It doesn't work that way. I have to come to my own conclusion that I would want to lower the expectations. I remember Mr. in 200 years when they dig up my body and see the TCC tattoo. What? That statement didn't make any sense. You said, I'll remember Mr. in 200 years when they dig up my body and see the TCC tattoo. You're funny, man. Mr., I'm about to order something. Will you wait for me? Go for it, man. You place an order. Ding Ting says, success is not an objective measuring thing to do. What do you define as success? I mean, it's kind of objective. You can tell someone's successful by how much work they got done. And that's about it. And you can say one guy pushed carts for Walmart and the other guy was a lawyer. And you say, well, the lawyer got more done. So that's about it. But you know, I wouldn't say that everything's equal, right? Would you? I wouldn't say that. Like, there's a doctor who saves people's lives all day long, and then there's a guy who puts soup on the shelf at Walmart. And so, you know, go work toward being a doctor if you can. And if you can't be a doctor, be whatever is below that. Go be like a nurse. And if you can't be a nurse, be below that, you know. But don't keep yourself at the Walmart for some kind of egotistical, you know, ooh, I hate society and no one should talk down on my job as the guy who puts the soup on the shelf at Walmart. Urgh. No, go aspire to be something. Go work on yourself. Go, like, apply for a higher paying job and contribute more to society. You failed your ultimate goal. By your definition, you're a complete failure in life if you can't have kids. I wouldn't call myself a complete failure, but I would like to have kids for sure. It's very important. I would mark it as the most important thing. So yeah, it's very important to have some kids. Maybe even just one kid, dude. Like, if you could just get one kid, a lot of pressure is relieved right away. So just even one kid's very important. I grow plants that people set on fire. Well, there you go. People got to have some fun, you know. Let's see. I'll share the memories like the mummy. Like the movie, the Mummy. You're funny, man. Let's see. All right. I got 3, and they're a lot of fun, bro. The kids, huh? Yeah. I had 11 brothers and sisters. So for me to be an adult and have 0 children is a bit frustrating. And, yeah. It is frustrating. I had 11 siblings. So, and all my friends were from large families. So it's like, I'm older now and I have no kids yet. So it's a problem. Shift release just got here. See you later, Mr. Resendez. All right, we're waiting on an order from our friend. I have 3 too, and I couldn't love them more. Yeah. Ask the Lord. Dear Satan. No, I'm just kidding. I'm teasing you. The Lord. Dear Yahweh. Let's see. I'm hitting refresh. I'm with Ryan. Yeah, I'm not super religious, unfortunately. I love them unconditionally because they're part of me. I'm the opposite of that. I'm extremely conditional. So I think unconditional love is something we all wish was real because it sounds so nice. When you look at science, when you look at nature, you don't actually see that. You see, like, the mama bird pushing one of the birds out of the nest. So humans have this thing called, like, empathy, sympathy, whatever you want to call it. So we can feel sorry for people. We can be like, oh, well, we accept you anyways. And this most likely was something we developed because humans are a highly sociable animal. So we have concepts like justice and equality, you know, equity. But for me, I'm able to kind of look past all of that and say it's really important to have a successful genetic offspring. And that would mean somebody who actually works really hard and succeeds at something. It's very important. And if it's not important for you, that's great. You can just not worry about it. I'm worried about it because that's who I am. Here's Mr. Garrett Whitney. Let me hit refresh on this. So you wouldn't care if one of your children killed himself because he couldn't live up to your standards. Wow, so you're bringing suicide into this? All right, so if someone kills themselves, they're out of the video game. And I had terrible parents who didn't love me, and I didn't commit suicide, okay? So the world's just a very cruel place. And I think you're sort of looking at the world as if humans are responsible for creating heaven or something. It's a terrible, vicious place. Some people have parents who literally kill them. So like the moms who, you know, kill the whole family and then themselves or some crazy thing like that, right? So it's a dark, difficult place. That's the reality. I see it clearly that way. If I have a kid and they're lazy, I'm going to tell them, stop being lazy. It's just how it is. I'm not going to encourage them to kill themselves. I don't know if you're implying that. Here's Mr. Garrett, 3 spots in the jungle break. Whoa, that's a big order. Holy cow, man. 2, 3. Very nice. All right. Let's go ahead and write this up. Good. My parents weren't exactly nice to me. And I made it all right, but I had to learn to be tough. That's it. You have to be tough. in this world, if you are not tough, the world will push on you. And you will either be someone else's underling or you will be successful. One or the other. And I would hope that I have kids who are clever enough to understand the game and want to play it and win, you know? I want them to play the game and I want them to win at the game. But at least I want them to play the game. I don't want... A lot of people don't even play it. They don't even see that there's a game being played. They're like oblivious to it. It's like they're lacking something. So a lot of people don't even play the game. They're not in it. They're just, they're like NPCs. Isn't that a term, NPC? So, you know, so I would want the kids to see the game, and I think they will because I'm going to explain it to them. And I will want them to play the game, and I want them to win the game, all three. You are. Do you think your parents, but do you think your parents were making you leave? Like there was a reason why you left, right? Because it was hell on earth. There were too many kids and too small of a home. So, you know, there's a lot of facets to it. Look at that. There was a lot of kids crammed into like a sardine tin. Ultimately, my parents gave me, you know, existence. So they're good for that. And they did not drown me in the bathtub. Passing some pretty low hurdles here. 2 Trump packs. Let's go grab that. All right. Success is very important, whether you had a good family or a bad family. And if you don't believe that, that's okay. You don't have to be successful. 2 sneaker bunkos. You can value something else, like everybody hugging or something. Everybody hugs and cries, and you all feel good with each other. Ooh, we all feel good. Kumbaya, my lord. You can smoke some of the Zaza. You can talk about your feelings. 2 Harry Potters. Do I sound like a big enough jerk? But it's true. You can do all those things. And that's just not how I am. And I would hope my children are vicious. The perfect ending is my own son kills me in order to take my wealth. Something like that. All right, let's see. Speaking of Trump, he understands the game. Maybe a little bit. This. All right, 2 Harry Potters. Need a new bag. Perfect ending. My son defeats me in combat and takes the inheritance by right. Here we are. All right, you ready? I didn't see the crystal loogie on the thumbnail on the website. How much is that going for? I don't know. He's getting pretty expensive, I think. My son defeats me in hand-to-hand combat, and I die with a fatal death blow, and then he takes the family inheritance. Go. All right. Mister wants to live through 9 something like that. You ready? All right. I just want to know that they're crazy tough. Tough as nails and determined to succeed. Ready? All right. We got Butterfly Weed Balm. It's very seductive in this world, in this life, to just sort of be comfortable and pacified in society. It really is. And you don't have to be that way. Dog Bane Potion, Dog Biscuit. And I think a lot of people even aspire to that transfiguration. They just aspire to be comfortable or something. And I'm scared to have kids like that. Here's Alahatzi Draught and Table Draught. Table Treble comforts the enemy of progress. Yeah, I don't want kids who are too comfortable where their whole goal is comfort. I want them to aspire to something. And maybe the reason I'm so concerned about it is because I'm not convinced by the people around me that I see their content on the internet or I hear them talking about it. I'm not convinced any of them want to succeed either. And I don't know why that is. Like, I definitely don't relate to that. I don't know why that occurs so much, but it's almost like people just want to sit, I don't know, like at a coffee shop in Europe and sit there for an hour while they wait for the waiter's check to come and, ooh, waiter. And you're having your espresso and talking with your little pal friend who went shopping at Louis Vuitton. I don't want any of that. It sounds so terrible to me. It's not impressive. It's sort of like you're just living on you're sort of living on the tailcoats of a greater society before you. And we've reached that point as a humanity, as a species, that you could just sort of coast off of the tailcoats of the crazy hard workers before you instead of taking us even further. Like, there's still things to do, like solve cancer, right? Well, if everyone has lazy kids, who's going to solve cancer? Somebody has to. So we can't be lazy. We're not there yet. Maybe AI will do it all. I don't know. But even then, let's say AI solved all human problems. What will happen to us? Will we just turn into amorphous blobs where we get like spoon-fed all the creations by AI, where AI gets the food, gets the house, gets the money, and you just sit in a fat guy chair like Wall-E, scratching your balls while you drink some sort of like coffee latte or something like that, going, this is the way things are meant to be. No one judge me. You know, what's going to happen to us? So I don't want that to happen. If I have kids, I don't want that to happen to them. I don't want them to be like hypnotized too much by the toys that you can play with. I don't want them to become too lazy and stagnant. I really want them to be very healthy, and I want them to be really hard workers, and I want them to invent stuff or get important jobs. And if they're too lazy for that, that's just unacceptable. It's not okay. You know, it's not okay to be lazy. And so you probably wouldn't want to have me as your dad if you're the lazy type. Here it is. All right, you ready? Here's Playboy, because you're not about to get along with me at all. Here's Playboy, and Playboy, and Playboy. Whoa. I feel like Mr. Mind would be a psychologist's dream and nightmare. Nope. I think I'm probably just a wound-up type. That's about it. And, you know, the signs are there that I'm a wound-up type. Maybe I die of, like, stomach cancer at a young age. I think that happens, actually, doesn't it? That happens. That happens to people who are, like, they spend too much time working and not enough time playing. But, you know, there's just people like that, and I don't know. Michael Jackson was really good, right? Everyone likes Michael Jackson. His dad was a jerk. I'm not planning specifically on being like their dad because I don't know exactly what bad things he did. I don't plan on doing any kind of abuse or anything. But my expectations will be really high. That's it. They will be. And there's just no way out of that. It's just the way it is. It's the way I am. And it's the way I'll be as a dad. Here goes. But, you know, we got Michael Jackson. Whoa, look at that. The Playboy cards are pretty sweet. We're looking to pull a Donald Trump card out of there. Because if you pull the Donald Trump card, that card can sell for a lot of money in a 10. Wow, that was pretty fast. Look at you, man. Okay. Stuff gets done because somebody's out there like a manager saying, get back to work. And if we had nobody like that in society, what would happen? I think we wouldn't accomplish anything. Ooh. It wouldn't happen as quickly anyways. Let's see. With kids, you have to start teaching them while they're very young. I started teaching my kids when they're babies. Now they're grown up to be strong and smart and hardworking teenagers. That's a good thing. And sometimes I wonder if it really is the parents' contribution, or if children are just like born hardworking versus not hardworking. The reason I ask myself that is because my parents pushed us really hard all the time. But I have some siblings who didn't do very well, and I did really, really well. And I think whatever made my parents very pushy about that with the expectations, I have that. So I'm more like them. So I'm more like them that way than the siblings who didn't accomplish much. The siblings who didn't accomplish much, they're just kind of like, nah, I'd rather like lay around and smoke or something like that. You know what I mean? And again, that just like terrifies me or something. Man, I don't want to be stuck in that situation. You can't divorce your kids. I just want to work at McDonald's, Dad. Oh my God, dude. I will lose my freaking mind. I will go insane. Here's Garrett Whitney. You ready, Garrett? I say that as an example because I know someone in my life right now who's doing that. The gentleman is, he's 32 and he still works at McDonald's, and it upsets me a lot. All right, here we go. Garrett Wixom. Here's a Gabriel. Here's a Garrett Nadald. Here's a Grady Williams. Is this a new bag? Sounds like apathy. Oh, he said I need a new bag. All right, let's get him a new bag. Well, apathy is when you don't care, I think, right? I care a lot. It's the opposite. I care a ton. So I'm twisting my hands going, this babies better be made. And when they come out, they better be crazy. So that's me. It's the other way around. I care a lot. I'm waiting for the brood. Here we are. can I keep the bulk hollows? The bulk hollows. Yeah, you can keep all the bulk. Oh, the bulk bunko. I read that wrong. How much was there? Just a little bit. Let's see how much there was. So the answer is supposed to be no. Are there like good characters in particular? Let's see. We're trying not to do too much bulk, okay? All right, here's a couple bulk hollows, all right? All right, let's add your name to the bag. Garrett Whitney. You can always point out, if you see a bulk card you really like, you can always point it out to me, and I'll go grab it for you. All right, this is going to be 8.26. There we go. All right. Good. Let's see what else. We also have this order from Roki Hyun, who says 4 live customs. Right at the end? You got it. Here it goes. Ready? Everyone else is apathetic. You're locked in. Yeah, I'll end up being like a tiger mom, dad. I'm not gonna smack my kids or anything. You guys don't have to. I'm not gonna be like crazy. My parents were crazy. I'm only a little bit crazy. 2, 3, 4. Yeah, it's not gonna be that bad. You guys are like listening to this, probably thinking like, "Oh, this guy's sounding off his nut." But I mean, the kids are gonna be spoiled if you think about it. If we eventually have them, oh my gosh, we need to have them. But you know, what are they gonna live in like some big fancy home and oh, mom and dad are leaving us millions of dollars when they die? It's like, they're not exactly going to be, you know, sad, poor children like I was when I grew up. They are. And I just don't want them to get lazy, you know? 4 cold ones? No! Oh, man, you're getting roasted in those live customs again? All right, I better give you another second chance card. Oh, no, dude. It's so crazy because we've seen some other guys doing well in them. Oh. He says, yeah, I'm done with the customs. I'm so sorry, man. Maybe I'll give you a bonus here. I tell you what, since you had such a bad round, I'll tempt you with another live custom. Now, you get to spend this one when you want to, okay? So I'm going to give this, it's $25. You got a card that says 1 live. Now, you spend this when you think the box is hot, okay? All right, I'll put this in the second chance baggie. So you try to time that when you think the box is hot. We'll see what happens. Maybe you get lucky. I will get clean and continue to work. That sounds good, man. Mister, can I keep the 3 grill cards from the bunko bulk? Yes, sir. So they're... wait a second. So are they... the 3 grill cards. Wait. It looks like I might have already grabbed it. Did I already grab it? Were they like high school girls or something like that? I'm trying to remember because I remember somebody else. Yeah, this one right here. So if I recall, what's her name liked this card? Kara Nichols. Kara Nichols. I almost called her Kayla. Kara Nichols liked that card too. I don't want my kids to be lazy too. I want them to be successful and happy at the same time. Yeah, I don't want my kids to be miserable and unhappy. Yeah, don't get me wrong. I don't aspire to that. But it's like, imagine I have a kid or two and mom and dad worked like crazy to build a comfortable lifestyle. And the kid never really appreciates that. Like, they don't know what poverty feels like. They don't know what starting from nothing feels like. They never tap into their talents or their own skills. They never give it a go. They just go, oh, I'm going to inherit a couple million. I guess I'll just bum around my whole life. Like, I don't want that. I'm kind of scared of that. And so you probably just heard me talking about that for a while, about how, you know, I'm going to have high expectations that they work their butts off. And I think you guys have to understand some of the context. I came from like a life of hard knocks. And now there's all this, I guess, wealth, if it doesn't like get blown away in a tornado. But there's some wealth now, right? Like, genuinely. And I don't want to just have kids that then just take it all for granted and become bums. You know, I really don't want that. It's kind of a scary proposition because most people are born into the lower class or the middle class. That's pretty standard. And they're expected to become doctors and engineers. But I think if you're born and you know your parents have like $4 million saved up at the age of 65 or something, right? You go, well, looks like I can just kind of screw around until I inherit $4 million. I'm scared of that. I don't want my kid to do that. I want them to contribute. And so maybe what I'm trying to tell you guys here is I am concerned about having kids that become sort of like the kid born with the silver spoon. I am concerned about that. I don't want that. There goes. All right. Because they don't understand how hard it is to earn money. It's crazy difficult. They don't understand like how much you have to sacrifice to reach a threshold that you have a lot of money. It didn't happen by mistake. It wasn't like, oh, and then we were rich. You know what I mean? But I think if you're just born into wealth, you take it all for granted. And actually, Karis' dad, he inherited quite a bit of money from his father, who was a hard worker. And then he just squandered it like instantly. He squandered all the money. He just kind of gave it away. And I'm terrified of that kind of stuff. That kind of behavior, it scares me. It scares the crap out of me. So, yeah. Don't worry, I tell my kids how I grew up working hard while I was a teenager for my parents, and I also tell them the story how hard my parents worked to get where they are now with money. Nice, man. Well, I bet you probably instill good values in them. That's one of the things about life, guys. It's like some people are lucky enough to have like parents who do push them a little bit, because it's like that extra structure. It can be really important. For people, especially people who aren't very good at structure themselves. But then also just knowing that your parents have high expectations, it does make you want to go do stuff like finish a college degree or whatever it is you're going to do, so that you can go back to your parents and say like, see, I'm pretty smart. So, you know, it's not a terrible thing. Yeah, I don't know if I gave off the impression like I'm going to like beat my kids or something like that. That'll never happen. That's all bad stuff. I don't believe in that stuff. All right, guys. So fun conversation. Maybe a little spicy near the end. Another nice stream. It was the Saturday night stream. We're going to be back on for Sunday night. Ooh, let's hand out a spot or two on this. Let's jump over here to the Discord server. Maybe I give off the wrong impression. Grab this. Okay, not too many people in there even. Ready? We got number 12. Who got number 12? It looks like Tonka Tootsie had 13. That's over. So it looks like Tammy got it. Here you go, Tammy. There you go. I'm going to put you on here, Mr. Ki-Hyun Ro. And let's get landing on 20. Well, that is going to be Tonka Tootsie. All right, you got it. My Discord wouldn't load. That's landing on 7. Who's got 7? Shinobi. Hey, Shinobi. We're using the Discord server to hand the giveaway out this time, guys. If you haven't joined it, you should join it. Number 6, number 7. Next stream, can we get that Jungle Break moving? It is moving a little bit. So that's going to be 12. I think that's Tammy twice. Wow, Tammy, you're going in twice. Okay. Landing on 3. So who's got 3? Smoked Out Turtle has 4, so he went over. We'll give it to you, Miss Beatrice. All right. So number 8 is Beatrice. And that'll be it. So we handed out some nice spots on the Umbreon giveaway. We give out a lot of slabs. Ki-Hyun Rose, sorry about your tough round on the Poke Shuffles, man. The live customs. I saw that. You got 2 second chance cards. You got a free live custom, okay? So you got a free one in there. And you never know. Sometimes you have bad luck for a while, and then your bad luck breaks one day. All right, I'll see you guys for the Sunday nighttime stream. See you later. Collector says, any life advice for people without family? You know, I'll just say this. You just got to work your fanny off, okay, man? Work your fanny off. I didn't have any help. You can do it. It's just going to require extreme amounts of work. You have to accept that, okay? If you accept that mentally and then you go do it, you're going to be all right, I promise. All right, see you guys.